All right, we are live. What's up, everybody?
Hey, everyone.
And I see your square is a little off, but that's okay. We'll just roll with it tonight. It looked good in post and in pre-show, but how's everybody doing tonight? How's the volume? Can everybody hear us okay? And in pre-show,
Testing.
How's everybody doing tonight? How's the volume? Can everybody hear us okay?
Testing. Sorry, I didn't turn up volume on the stream. If you wanted me to hear, or we can wait for someone else to say. Sorry, I didn't turn up volume on the stream. If you wanted me to hear, or we can wait for someone else to say.
Some echo. Some echo.
Wonder.
Well, we're looking.
I doubt that's coming from my side.
Let me just fix this because this is going to bother me. This is really going to bother me if I don't fix it. Let me just fix this because this is going to bother me. This is really going to bother me if I don't fix it. Let me just fix this because this is going to bother me. There we go. I'm sorry. I'm a perfectionist. Sorry.
Well, yeah, it was showing more than the screen on the one side.
Somehow your image got kicked to the right. So.
Well, yeah, it was. Yeah. And I'll find a way to zoom out next week because
somehow your image got
kicked to the right. It's on my, obviously in the Discord, you see I'm not as zoomed in, but for whatever reason. It's on my, obviously in the Discord. Oh, but even you're more zoomed in. So I guess just the way you have the squares, they have to be more zoomed in than what Discord shows. Oh, but even you're more zoomed in. So I guess just the way you have the squares, they have to be more zoomed in than what Discord shows.
Yeah, it looks like it's good. Looks like our sound's good.
So I guess just the way you have the squares,
move it just up a little bit more. It's good. Looks like our sound's good. Okay. Move it just up a little bit more. Looks like our sound. Yeah, there's echo. There's echo, guys, because I'm listening to my stream back and you're hearing it through my earbuds. Everything that goes to my earbuds right here, you guys get to hear twice. Hey. Can't, that's nice, huh? Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming out. I know it's a holiday week. We almost didn't do a show, but I have to keep the streak alive. So we decided to, thanks to Kingsley, we've decided to go ahead and do a holiday weekend show, which is kind of cool. And we have some stuff to talk about tonight. It's not just going to be hey, how's it going? It'll be a lot of fun. And it is going to be a chill show, but we definitely have some stuff to talk about tonight. So, everybody ready? Then let's get into it. All right, here we go. And There we go. 3, 2. What's up, Guardian? Welcome to episode 280 of Guardian Downcast, the Destiny podcast. I'm your host, Todd the GATR, and I'm a day one Guardian who loves gaming and especially the Destiny franchise. We're the podcast that's all about your stories, your community, and your destiny. This week, I'm talking with my co-host Kingsleymac. RNGGator is off this week with the family. But what's up, man? How you been?
Hey, how's it going, everyone? I am glad to be here once again, of course.
Well, for those of you who may have just discovered our podcast, we're a weekly Destiny show, and we've been producing audio episodes for over 5 years now. Things have changed over the years. Co-hosts have come and gone, but I still remain the original host of the show, the OG, if you will, of Guardian Downcast. We have decided to produce a live vodcast of our show on YouTube where you can interact with us in chat, usually on Friday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern time. But this week, due to the holidays, we're going live on a Saturday. We'll also have a replay of tonight's show on my channel. And of course, the audio version will always be available for our podcast apps. And you can always go to our website, guardiandowncast.com, to listen to any individual episodes as well on demand. In this episode, we're first going to catch up with our past week, celebrating Thanksgiving with family and friends. Since Bungie took the week off and there is no 12 blog post, we will discuss a new topic of the week aimed at the Destiny 2 franchise. Finally, we have an important announcement for our Discord community, and we're going to go into that detail tonight. Mr. Kingsleymac will go into that. Of course, if you have any feedback for us from anything we're talking about today, let us hear it. It's discord.gg/Guardian Downcast if you'd like an invite to our community. And you can just post the feedback in our show feedback channel. If we have any questions from our community, whether from our Discord or email or our SpeakPipe voicemail system, we'll answer any of those. For those who want to post a question in the live chat tonight, just at myself or Kingsleymac so we can see them. I do want to remind you that we have a brand new survey where you can give us feedback for our podcast in general, and you could have a chance to win a $100 Amazon digital gift card to boot, thanks to our Patreon community. You can go to guardiandowncast.com/survey. Big note here, you will not find the button on our website. This is a link that only you'll have if you want to enter the survey and participate. We'll have a drawing for the gift card live on our show on December 13th. So go there now if you don't want to forget to enter in. Like I said, it's going to be a pretty chill show tonight. So if everybody's ready, let's roll. Lots of echo. Okay.
Well, they said that even before you said your last thing, but I assume you.
Let me try this.
Well, we're not being
Lots of
production
echo
right here. Testing.
Hello. We'll figure it out here. I think we had echo last time. Let me just double check a few things here. All right. I'll tell you what,
Oh, it's gone now, Zombie Pop says. And it sounds pretty good to me, too, when I turned up the volume on the stream. So I think we're okay now.
Now what
Maybe
I did is
I'm gonna
just.
I turned up the volume on the stream. So I think we're okay now.
Now what I did is
I'm gonna
just.
I turned up the volume on the stream. So I think we're okay now.
Yeah, I am hearing a little bit echo. I think we'll fix this. We'll figure it out. Yeah, I am hearing a little bit echo. I think we'll fix this. We'll figure it out.
Deadpool says he doesn't hear anymore either, and I don't think I heard it.
Okay.
Todd, so hopefully it's fixed.
I gotta love technology.
He doesn't hear anymore either, and I don't think I heard it.
Okay, we'll keep going then.
We'll assume it's okay.
If you do start to hear echo, let us know, guys, and we'll make sure to fix it. 2 guys, 1 cast. Exactly, Sen. How you doing, buddy? Thank you, Deadpool 1 Merc, for being here. Zombie Pops, Jimmy Rayner. Man, Jimmy, it's got to be late over there in Germany, man. That's hardcore to be here this late or this early in the morning for you, man. So thanks for hanging out, buddy. Appreciate it. Okay, well, we'll just keep moving on then. If you hear the echo, let us know in chat. I'll have Kingsley keep an eye on it for me. All right. Okay, here we go. 3, 2. Well, let's first catch up, of course, Kingsley, and talk about, it's been, like we talked about it before the show, it's been a week, man. I'll start with you. What entertainment, gaming, whatever you want to talk about, what's your week consisted of this time around?
Yes, actually, just real quick, Thanksgiving week, I feel like all these holiday weeks, sometimes I don't know what's up or down, left or right. We're recording on a different night, had multiple days off from work. It feels like it's been forever because I guess we recorded one day earlier last week and now we're recording one day later this week.
It felt weird. I'll be honest. It felt really weird. It did, right? Man. I felt like I forgot something this week.
Right. But it's been fun. Just real quick, for Thanksgiving, we decided my wife and I to do Thanksgiving, just the 2 of us together instead of going to any family. It was really chill. Just got food at a local grocery store that was like really good quality. Like, the produce area makes it, the people that like thick slices of turkey cut, mashed potato, gravy, all the trimmings and stuff. Good quality. Didn't have to worry about crazy family stuff. And then we went to a nice hotel last night, got massages, stayed the night, and had a great brunch buffet today. The only thing I'd say is people, if you go to a nice hotel with kids, please try to make sure they're not yelling and screaming in the hallway and knocking on your doors. Other than that, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we talked about that, how my wife and I went to a 5-star hotel in Disney one time, and the parents just let their kids go crazy. I was like, come on, man.
It happens.
This is a 5-star hotel.
Yeah, I don't get it, but whatever. But I'll tell you, I wasn't going to have much to say about TV shows or movies. I have yet to watch, a tentative plan to watch Wicked will be next Sunday, so a week from tomorrow. And but what I did watch on TV on Netflix. This is a gem, and I saw an article about it talking about this show is really cool. It's like a mixture of comedy. It's like feel good. It brings in a lot of aspects of dealing with loneliness. It's almost like a sitcom, but it's not really. It's kind of like, think of like a mystery show that has comedy, that has just feel good all around, and it's called A Man on the Inside with Ted Danson. Have you heard of that?
I watched the first episode, actually two
Oh, what
episodes.
do you think of it?
I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was
Yeah,
pretty good. Ted Danson's just so charming. I mean, it doesn't matter what
of
he's
course.
in. Anybody who
Mhm,
watched him in Cheers long ago has just been I've been a fan ever since. So I thought it was
mhm.
good. I thought it was good. I think I'm 2 episodes in. Yeah, I started
We are
playing with it.
only like 3 episodes left, and it's really
Nice.
good,
Oh,
and, I highly recommend this to anyone if you have Netflix. A Man on the Inside, just really great. It's by the same creators that also do A Good Place and, Brooklyn 911, and so
funny
there's some
shows.
comedy, there's some feel good, there's some just everything about it, I think, is just really, really good. So,
Yeah, those are funny
nice little
shows.
gem that I found.
Those are real good shows too. So yeah, absolutely, man. Anything else?
Um,
It's been a
yeah, I
weird. I don't
mean,
even know which day it is right now. Hardly.
I know. I feel like a little bit of gaming, not too much in Destiny I can think of. I did do a raid. I did Wednesday night raid with people like HD Tech, and he still tries to organize those and other people in
Yeah.
the community. And we did just spur of the moment. It was actually due to my prodding. Usually, I just kind of whatever people say, yeah, let's roll with it. But I'm like, I want to have some fun tonight and some chaos, and so we did Val of the Disciple, and
Nice.
there wasn't too much chaos because actually everyone in the group kind of already knew the raid. But it was fun to run it again. It's been forever. It's funny. It's like someone was watching the stream, saying like, "Wow, you actually have to think in this raid," and he wasn't even. It's not about the symbols. I know everyone thinks it is. Like you can call the symbols whatever you want. You don't
Right.
have to memorize anything. But what you have to know is there are more mechanics in general. Forget the symbols. Like you have to know where to place what and what to do next and what room to go on after that and all
Right.
this stuff where that's why I really like the raid because I get it. At first it seems complicated and weird or whatever, but how many people have run um what's the raid that I hate? That you always say is
Val.
easy,
Oh no,
but
you're talking about the Ron raid.
yeah, the Ron raid. How many people actually like that raid? They think it's kind of boring, right? Even though it's easy-ish, right? But Val, I've talked to people that once they've run Val enough times, the opinion is always it's a good raid. So that
Right.
really goes to show there's proof behind there's a reason to have mechanics and you can go overboard like the newest raid, you know, but that's fun too once you get used to that, right? I mean, I get it. It's just like one of these catch 22s. It's like a raid can be complicated and you don't like it at first if it's too crazy, but then once you get used to it, a raid is going to be more fun in the long run if you have mechanics. So we had a lot of fun with it and just had some chaos moments with it, even in the third room where normally even I wouldn't be like, we shouldn't do chaos in that room. It's not like it's Steve Stone Crypt chaos room. It's like that room you got to have a little, a little bit of, but we kind of did pretty good doing chaos at first, and then we did have to kind of semi-assign some positions, but had a lot of fun with it. So that was like the main notable gaming thing I did. I'll have probably more to talk about next week as some other things come out, but and we'll talk Destiny too, of course, as we go on.
Yeah. Jimmy says chaos is the way to go. Yeah, I think sometimes we have no choice but to do chaos because I always forget what to do. It seems sometimes in some of these raids,
Yeah.
but
And real quick, that's one thing again why I love raiding. Like
yeah,
another comment that this person who doesn't play Destiny was noting was like we would do the boss encounter and then we wiped once where we got close to the end but didn't get it done, and he's like, oh, you got to do that over again, and it's like so this tells me why also I like rating and why rating can be different every single time also is because it's the people you play with. That's more the variables than anything else. You have to adjust your play style based on different people's abilities. If someone dies, you have to on the fly revive them, maybe pick up their job, do this and this. So rating, even though it seems like PvE is always the same thing, Raiding can be quite a different experience every time too, depending on your group.
All right, Kingsley, I stand corrected. Crucible is not the only thing that is totally chaos. So, okay, I'll give you that. Because you're right. I've been through many raids and they're not always the same. That's for sure. So I get it, man. Well, geez, where do I start? It's been a busy week, guys. It's been a really busy week. And I got a little bit more to say because it's been over a week since we podcasted because of the way the weird holiday, the way the holiday fell into place this time around. But I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving holiday with family and friends this week. For me, it was a time to reflect, have some gratitude towards what I do have in my life and not perseverate on what I don't have. You know, like that $1 million lottery ticket or that brand new Corvette in my driveway. So, you know, petty things like that just don't matter. They really don't. But it's really weird this year. Our 32nd wedding anniversary fell on Thanksgiving this year. It happens about every 5 years. Yeah. So we went to Universal City Walk here in Orlando. We went to a restaurant. It's authentic Italian, kind of upscale, called Vivo. It's appointment only usually, or reservations only. Really good service. Had a great time. I had their signature dish, which is their chicken Parmesan. And of course, I had tiramisu for dessert. Those lady fingers just melted in your mouth. It was so good.
I love tiramisu. Yeah.
I'm a believer now. I didn't usually like cookies and cream and stuff, but it was so good. But it was delicioso. So, and afterwards we went to the theme parks and rode a bunch of the rides, kind of to finish out the night because we went in around 5 o'clock. We went in a little early, so it was a great day. Very memorable. 32 years, damn. You know. It's just amazing. The years just fly by, you know. But I've been playing the latest Iron Banner this week. I did get the new stasis rocket assisted sidearm, the Tanasha's Mastery. I haven't gotten the chill clip roll yet, but there is still another week ahead of Iron Banner, so I'm confident I'll get that roll, and I'll get something that'll work for PvE and PvP. Let's face it, rocket assisted sidearms are not good in PvP and Crucible, so no. I'm really aiming at that chill clip roll. And pretty much anything with the chill clip roll, I'll be happy with, to be honest. Let's see what roll I did get here. I did get Tanasha's Mastery. I only got one. Actually, I got two, and I dismantled one because it was just garbage. It was just a garbage roll, but I got one with One for All and Reverberation, which I heard that's a good perk, but that's not the one for me, not yet. So I'm going to keep working on that. I'll definitely be.
How were the matches in general? Like how was your overall?
Funny you say that. Of course, Zebrak was in the group, so we played again, you know, in the PC pool, which worries me because the PC population is a lot less than the console population, and or it seems to be, and you get more cheaters, and it's just PC. I'm not a fan of PC lobbies, but I got to admit, the first two games we owned it. It was great. We ran over the teams pretty much with 6 people. It was a 6v6 game. But then as the night wore on, we started getting some really sweaty matches, and we were just getting run over and just blown away. And I don't know, that's Iron Banner, man. I kind of wish I could have tried the console lobbies that night, but I did come back the next couple days later. I did play solo for a couple hours on the PS5 on the console pool, and yeah, those games were good. They filled very fast. Never had a problem playing solo, and from what I hear, excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't hopped in it yet, but I'm curious. I think I was mentioning even to you, and you invited me to jump in the other night, but I had the raid going on. And look, even though I don't like PvP, I'll hop in occasionally, and I would actually be willing to 3 or 4 matches this time around. I just haven't had the opportunity to yet. But like you were saying, it was okay, and then got crazy.
Yeah, the playing solo was good. Sorry, my throat's been scratchy today. That's why I got hot tea here with some lemon in it. But I'll muscle through tonight. Hopefully, won't get any squeaks. So, but no, I overall I've had fun playing Iron Banner. I haven't grinded it like really grinded it, but I did get all of my armor set for my warlock. So now I'm working on my hunter and my titan, because I do want to get the full sets. And man, that armor with the super black shader, I look like death, man. It's just crazy. That shader is nuts. I'm so glad I killed myself to finish up that card in Festival of Lost, because that shader is the bomb. I love it on everything. So
it really is. You could say it's like, what's the word? Overplayed or just,
yeah,
crazier than it needs to be, more popular than it needs to be. But that being said, I still like it on most things, and I'm really glad I got it back into the light. But it is a good shader to have.
Yeah, I'm glad I have it, and I'm a shader guy. I like trying different shaders on stuff. So I'm the one that sits there and just goes through all my shaders and see what Bungie made it look like, because it seems different on every piece of armor out there. But I produced another video titled "I Got Wrecked in the Crucible." I'll be releasing that on Monday for all those out here who are dreading the Crucible this past week playing Iron Banner. I'll, of course, announce it in the Discord once it's published, so I hope you guys will check that out. Support the channel. It's not very long, maybe 15 minutes, but I basically just narrate and go through and analyze a really tough comp match that I had, and I'll explain in the video why it was so tough. But that'll be out on Monday. This past week, I purchased the new Sony PlayStation game Astrobot. I played for about an hour and a half, and I must say, it was a very refreshing game, especially the unique uses of the PS5 controller and the new haptic feedback system that it has. But you had to do so many things with your controller that was very different than normal games. And in order to progress the character, you were Astrobot, by the way, as a platformer, it's super vibrant. And of course, it's one of the PS5 Pro Enhanced games, since I just got the Pro. And it was probably the most beautiful game I've seen in a while. Very vibrant, very clear. I think I was playing at 120 frames, maybe, but I think it was definitely 4K. It was super bright, super clear and crisp. The game is pretty simplistic, though. You have to rescue your robot friends. I think there's 300 in total that you have to rescue. And you jump in, you basically are jumping from one game board to another. It's like little mini worlds, and it is a platformer. But I had two negative things about it that I did not like. First, it's just too simplistic for me. This will be certainly a game that I play with my grandson once he's old enough, of course, to watch it. But for me, I like more sophisticated games with builds and crafting and all that stuff. And this is pretty much, you can't really die. It's pretty much just a fun, I wouldn't say it's a kiddie game. It definitely can appeal to everyone who loves platforming. But maybe I've just outgrown platforming games, but I got bored pretty quick. I really did. Even though the mechanics with your controller, I mean, at one point you had to pull on a cord and pop out something in order to face it, or to break open a bridge to cross it and stuff. And at first I was having a hard time figuring it out, because the on-screen tutorial was kind of confusing, because I'm not used to using the controller the way they were wanting me to use it. So yeah. The second thing I didn't like about it is the camera would not automatically pan when you were facing a different direction. There was an instance where I had to climb up some blocks to the right. Once I jumped forward, I had to jump to the right. You're seeing it differently because the camera's showing it different. But and I was forced to move my camera angle every time with my thumbsticks to get the best perspective, so I could, jump and get to where I needed to get. And after a while, it just got tedious having to keep moving the camera angle. And, maybe it's a setting that I didn't know about, but the camera angle, the camera doesn't really follow you. I guess that's probably trying to, I don't know, maybe it being a unique game and stuff, they want you to work upwards to the right without having to turn your camera there. But I'm a platformer guy from the old ages. So I have to have the camera angle, always rotating with me as I'm moving on the board. And it wasn't doing that. So that was annoying to me. And maybe I just haven't played enough platformers today. Maybe I'm just an old fart, but I'm set in my ways when it comes to those types of games. And I remember when I played Crash Bandicoot and stuff, the camera angle would always slowly, subtly move with you. And it just didn't do it in this game, which was kind of weird. But I know it's up for Game of the Year. And I think there's so many other better, more sophisticated games out there that are much more interesting to me. I mean, I'm an older gamer, so maybe I'm a little biased. I do think there is another game that should get Game of the Year, and it's a very simplistic game too, but it really works your brain. And it's the other game I've been playing this week, and that is Balatro. I think it has a good shot at being Game of the Year.
So it's newer.
Balatro is fairly new. It's made by one person. No 50-man developers. It's made by one guy. And man, what a great game. And yes, it's very simplistic. It looks like an 8-bit or a very simplistic older game, but it has a haptic system and stuff, and it's just really really fun. Yeah, Jimmy Raynor, yeah, they had force feedback on the triggers. I could adjust all the levels of that, how hard how much haptic feedback I wanted in the Astrobot game. And Balatro, actually, I play it on Steam, so I'm using a controller, but I'm not going to get any haptic feedback on that. But it does have very like screen shake and stuff when you get a high score and stuff. For those who are unfamiliar, it's a roguelike card game where you play poker hands to meet point thresholds, and you use modifiers to help add to your points called chips in the game. These modifiers can come in several forms, such as jokers. You can get tarot and planet cards. In addition, each level increases the chips required to move on. And there's also other negative modifiers every 3 levels called boss blinds, where it can really force you to become creative and figure out how to succeed. Sometimes the proverbial phrase, "it just wasn't in the cards," applies here, because sometimes you just have to start over because you just got unlucky and just didn't get the right hand. You didn't draw the right hand. And part of the strategy is knowing what to discard and what to keep. It really is why it's such a brain teaser type game. But ironically though, even though I hit a wall, I think I was trying to clear the Nebula deck this last week, and I got to the very last boss blind, and I just couldn't get it. I just couldn't find my way through. But like I said, that challenge just keeps me coming back. So this is certainly a game you can pick up, you can put down and play later, which is nice. When I was at waiting in those crazy lines at Universal, I pulled out my iPhone. I was playing Balatro while I was walking upstairs to get to the ride. You know, the Harry Potter stuff, they make you climb like 1,000,000 stairs, and my knees are like, oh no. But lines were not a big deal for me. I was playing Balatro while we were in line, so the time just melted away. It was beautiful.
So is it the same on PC versus your phone, or do you get more features or more graphics on your PC?
No, it's exactly the same graphics pretty much. They actually got nominated for Best Mobile Game, which I think it should win as well. I really thought it was a good game. So we'll see. We'll see if it has a shot. I'm pretty sure it got nominated. It's been nominated for several categories, and I think Game of the Year was one. Since getting the new PS5 Pro a couple weeks ago, I've been trying new games. I've decided to try a new demo of Dynasty Warriors Origins game. I have played Dynasty Warriors ever since Japanese studio Koei, ever since they arrived on the Verse PlayStation. I played it on in 1997. I love the hack and slash against the hordes of enemies, and especially playing different cast of characters. I could play in 120 frames per second on my PS5. It was an enhanced game. I never saw any lag, even amongst a full screen of soldiers, which I think at one point I had 200 soldiers fighting each other on, and me crashing through them and stuff with a horse. Never had any screen lag, never had any input lag. It really brought back some great memories playing the original, but I had one complaint. Like I said, I've been playing just about all of them. I think I skipped Dynasty Warriors 9. I think it made it more open world or something, but I think I skipped that one. And my God, Sony, please bring back Dynasty Warriors Tactics. That was a real-time strategy game, and I played the hell out of that game. I've looked through the PlayStation Store. I can't find it under the classics. And man, Dynasty Warriors Tactics is such a fun game. But I did try that demo. I'm probably going to pick the game up in spring when it comes out, just to have something else to just mindlessly hack and slash. But this game is more strategic too, because you're trying to get a boss from leaving your allied boss to leave the battle, and he gets frustrated really easily. And if he gets overrun, he just leaves, and then the game's over. So you're fighting lots of battles on this big map. and you have to know where to go and things like that. Hello, Lauren. That's my daughter.
Right on.
I actually downloaded a few more games. I mentioned Final Fantasy VII Remake. I haven't played it yet. It's been downloaded and ready to go. Unicorn Overlord, Stellar Blade, and Metaphor ReFantazio. I've got all those downloaded, ready to play. I haven't played them yet. I also played the free-to-play game World of Warships, the Legends Edition. I've always loved naval battle games from the past. I also downloaded God of War Ragnarok. Yes, I know. I'm late to the party.
Please play that.
I only play Destiny. I mean, come on, it's all that's had my attention lately. I'm looking forward to trying it. And I did play the one before that, and it was the combat system, and it was just a lot of fun. Let's see. I don't know. I was going to ask you, Kingsley, did you do any Black Friday stuff? Did you buy anything Black Friday?
Nope. I think the wife bought some clothes from Old Navy or something like that, but I just haven't had any desire that I've seen anything necessarily.
How about games? Did you buy any games or anything?
No, maybe I should look.
Steam's got their autumn sale. I think it's still going on.
Yeah, most of the games I like or I want to get in the future are things that are through subscriptions, like either Ubisoft or PlayStation Plus or PC Games Pass or things like that. So, and even the Balatro, I'll get it on Apple Arcade because I have that. So I have so many like gaming subscriptions, but I'll look. But I haven't really considered it too much yet.
Well, I know you play on PlayStation too, and PlayStation's got some good sales going on. No, I did not get Stalker 2, Jimmy. I've got so many games downloaded, man. My 2 gigabyte hard drive is almost full already. It's crazy, man. These games are like 50 gigs each. So I did buy something though that it was an impulse buy, but it was 40% off. And I'm sure RNGGator is going to love to hear this because in Admiral Nips, I bought the MVP bundle of Madden 25 and College Football 25, the MVP bundle, which comes with a lot of upgrades and stuff. I got 2 games and 3 upgraded items on it for 40% off. So against my better judgment, I pulled the trigger on that. I love football, and at least through football season, I'll probably jump in there and play something. I haven't played a Madden game. I was just thinking that on my walk tonight. Madden 15. It's been a long time since I played a Madden game because they all were the same. I mean, but I'm looking forward to seeing how far the technology's come. So I'm looking forward to that. And those are enhanced games. So I can't wait to see how it looks. It's going to be fun being a linebacker running after a running back. It's going to be cool. One more thing. I will continue to, like I said, play on my Hunter and Titan this week. I've got my full set on Warlock with Iron Banner. So I'll be in Iron Banner this week as well. But I gotta recommend to you guys, you gotta try the revamped Chroma Rush. It's a 720 auto rifle. I tried it in Iron Banner this week. Let's see, I got in dim. It's not a killer roll, but I did get a decent roll. And this was from, I think this dropped when we did when me, you, and Sen did the what is it? The Contest of Elders.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. I tap the trigger to the pane. I know that's not the optimum roll, but that one I was using it. I used it with a counterbalance mod and without, and I didn't see much difference. It has a 45 recoil direction, which is just basically like a big fan. It's just like, but I gotta admit kinetic tremors. That's the one I'm trying to get, Jimmy. Yeah. The kinetic tremors roll they say it's working in Crucible real well also, and you can actually even proc it twice because it has such a big clip on it. So I recommend playing some of the activities in Act 2 Revenant because that Chroma Rush is a lot of fun to play with. So, and it's kinetic. It's a kinetic auto rifle, 720. So, and it has a new revamp perk too called Splicer Surge. It says reloading this weapon after dealing damage grants the weapon a stacking reload speed and handling bonus until stowed. So I think they said if it gets up to 3 stacks, it's like 45 to reload speed and 45 to handling. That's a lot. That's a lot. I did get a grid skipper as well. Hammer's talking about his grid skipper. I did get a grid skipper. That's Void, I believe, right? So let me see if I got one here. I'll show you guys the one I got here. I think that dropped from the very same Contest of Elders that we played.
Yeah,
because
those weapons are all kind of the ones that are in.
Dude,
they're also the repriced.
They throw you so much loot. I mean, you can't help yourself. There's just so much loot it drops from those from the new Prison of Elders remake. I got one with snapshot sights and moving target. And it has that new perk. No, wait a minute, that's an older one. Where's my newer one? Let's see here. I didn't put it in. Did I put it in storage? Why would I put it in storage? That is such a good pulse rifle.
Check it out.
No, here it is. It has the splicer surge as well. It's a rapid fire 540 frame. Mine has desperate measures and demolitionist. That's more of a PvE role. So I'll keep working on that. And I love Grid Skipper. It's always been a solid pulse rifle in Crucible especially. So I'll keep working on getting those. All right, entertainment wise, I saw the new I guess episode 2 of Dune Prophecy.
Ooh,
on HBO. Did you watch it this week? Okay, I won't spoil it.
I've been meaning to, but I got behind on that. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like priority 1 now. My wife and I want to see it. That's the first thing we see every week, and it drops every Friday night, I believe, or is it Sunday night? Anyway, I think it's every Friday night. And this episode I think was 75 minutes, but episode 2 was really good. It's I'll just blankly say it's a real showdown between the Bene Gesserit and this mysterious person. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna leave it at that. I tell you, like I said, it ties in so well to the original Dune movies. It looks like it's gonna be really good. I saw the 3rd episode of season 2 of Silo on Apple TV. Rebecca Ferguson, she's really good in what she does, but man, this story is dragging. It is dragging, and I'm gonna give it a few more episodes. But this so far this season has been a little disappointing. After the first season was so crazy with, going out of the silo and discovering what's out there, I've been a little disappointed so far, but I'm hanging in there. I'm going to keep watching it and see. I did watch the entire first season of Franchise on HBO Max. It's only 7 episodes. It's very good. This show is so frenzied and fanatic. I'm always on edge when I watch it, but it's so funny. And it shows all the crazy shit that goes down while they're basically recording and taping a sci-fi movie. They're shooting in various locations. There's one episode where they actually destroy a national monument in a foreign country accidentally. You'll have to see it. It's really good. I did see the newest movie from Clint Eastwood. It's called Juror Number 2. I mentioned I was going to go see it last week. It's about a young, newly married guy who has a baby on the way. Has an encounter one night on his way home that has him questioning it when he's selected on the jury from jury duty he had weeks later. And I'll tell you, it was very suspenseful, very surprising ending that had me kind of wondering what the hell just happened. 93% certified fresh from Rotten Tomatoes, 92% from audience. Yeah, it's a good one. I give it 3.5 stars. Good movie, solid movie. Add it to your streaming list when it comes out. Juror Number 2 by Clint Eastwood. Good movie. Okay. I'm sorry, Kingsley. I've got to get into a rant tonight. Yes. I've been holding back on this, and my wife, my wife is already like, let it go. No. Anyway, I am a little pissed off at AMC right now because this week I have not seen Wicked and I've not seen Gladiator 2 yet because one, let's face it, the holiday traffic is crazy. Black Friday, Thanksgiving, people have family down here in Florida. And movie theaters are just packed. And I was like, I just don't want to deal with that right now. But the main reason I haven't seen them, both of these movies should be in the Dolby Atmos theater because they're AAA movies, super CGI graphics, just fantastic, beautiful movies, right? Even Wicked, even though it's more of a play. This stupid movie, I'm sorry, mom and dads out there, but this is so dumb. How is Moana 2 in the GD Dolby theater? It's a freaking cartoon. And I know it's the new CGI cartoons that are really beautiful. Does not need to be in the Dolby Atmos theater. And I was telling my wife
What's the
tonight,
problem? You don't have multiple rooms that have a
we
Dolby
only
Atmos?
have
Even we
one.
do here in Salt Lake.
We have one IMAX, and we have
Really?
one IMAX in our theater, our local theater, and a one Dolby theater.
Well, we only have one IMAX per theater, but we usually have, I would say, at least 2 Dolby Atmos rooms.
We only have one.
Not in our AMCs. I was telling you about this.
Oh.
Our AMCs out here aren't good.
Did you want to mention that?
Yeah, but we have chains called Cinemark and Megaplex in Utah, and both Cinemark and Megaplex, I would say almost every single movie theater has at least a couple Dolby Atmos rooms.
Really?
Anyways, even though I've never done AMC A-list like you have, I've always been an AMC Stubs Plus member.
Right.
AMC, I grew up with them being a good theater in California, but in Utah they weren't around until 10 years ago. What they did was they took over a couple of older small theaters and revamped them and made them stadium seating, and came in, and I'm like, oh cool, AMC. So I started going there, and it's pretty close to my house. It's not the closest one, but it's pretty close, and I signed up for the Stubs membership. But our local AMC theater has really been going downhill, where the seats are very rarely clean enough to my standard. Also, they are the nice recliner, but I started with some friends. I went back to our local Cinemark. The recliners are wider and more comfortable at the Cinemark, so the AMC ones are just a little bit older.
Yeah.
So for those 2 reasons alone, and because Cinemark started a membership program that's not quite as good as yours, but I did that. So I have a membership program now also, and now it's not unlimited movies, but what they do for $10 a month is they give you 1 free ticket a month, and it can be anything, of course, also like the premiere Friday night, IMAX or whatever, but you get 1 per month for $10. But if you don't use it, like if you don't go to any movie that month, it rolls over.
You
so
can
like
bank
if
it?
if you didn't go to a movie for like 2 or 3 months, you keep paying that $10 subscription, but then you would have 3 tickets.
That's good.
Saved up. And then not only that, any additional tickets you buy, you get at the reduced price. And of course, no ticketing fees, and then 20% off all concessions also, all for that $10 a month.
See, the way AMC does it is they don't give you a flat discount with concessions, but every $50 they give you $5 back, which I think sucks, to be honest. That's a much better deal.
We also get points for money back too.
Wow.
So it's not as good as yours if you watch movies a lot, but for someone like me, I might watch like a lot of movies 1 month, and then I might go several months, and then I might watch a lot of movies again. And so I'm really excited for this.
Sounds a good program.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good program. And I mark my words, this is the way movie theaters are going. The movie theaters are going to get smaller, but they're going to have much roomier, luxurious rocker recliners in them. And the screen sound, they're all going to be Dolby. They're all going to have the Dolby. They're all going to have the, what they call here in Florida, they call it the laser, I guess, projection. It's supposed to be cleaner and crisper. I don't know if that's just a gimmick or what, but it costs. See, this is the reason why I'm pissed, because Moana 2, the kids are tugging at their mom and dads to go see Moana 2 because The Rock's in it. I want to hear The Rock. Give me a break. Anyway, I'm just pissed because we had 1 week. I mean, 1 week, that was it. And that's before Thanksgiving. That week before Thanksgiving that they were in the Dolby theater. But as soon as Moana came out on Thanksgiving week, it pushed out all my other movies, and I'm so pissed. So mark my words, that's the way movie theaters are going to go. They're going to go more boutique. They're going to go probably more expensive, but you're going to get a better cinema experience instead of feeling like cattle in a 500, seat fold down cracker seat that most stadiums have these days. You're going to have a full recliner that you recline in. You'll probably have rumble seats. I mean, they're going to go all out to get people to get the movie experience, especially at least for us Gen Xers that still love movies, and boomers, I guess, out there still love movies. But, there's one theater we go to every now and then. It's the old cloth fold down seats, and it's starting to get a little smelly in there from, let's just say, people that maybe aren't quite 20 and maybe don't bathe a lot, or maybe have a lot of hormones flowing. You know what I mean? So getting a little BO smell in some of these theaters, and it's a turnoff. It really is. because you're paying a premium to go watch this movie instead of in the comfort of your own home,
Yeah.
So,
Here's the thing, like I still have fun in the rooms that aren't the Dolby, but I still don't get it. Like I'm looking at my local theater and they have both Moana and Wicked in the good rooms again, because
yep.
they probably have a couple of them.
You have more than one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have more than one. You have more than one theater, so that makes perfect sense. But the Wicked was showing on IMAX, but I could go see Gladiator 2 on IMAX or the Dolby Theater, but at 10:30 at night. No people are going to bring their kids to see Moana 2 at 10:30 at night. So we're like, thanks, but no thanks, So I'm going to go see Gladiator 2 at my parents' local theater, which is all recliners. It's all recliner based, but they're smaller screens. But it's comfortable. It's spread out. It's it's like you said, AMC came in there and it was an old theater, and they ripped everything out, made it stadium seating barely, and put all recliner seats in there and made it more of a nice experience. And let's face it, where my parents live, it's all old people. And every time I go there, I'll have some old couple sitting in our seats because it's assigned seating now. They just don't understand that you have to look at your ticket and go to that seat, because it's, used to be you'd have to get in there and it's first come, first serve. Remember those days? Now it's all assigned seating. You basically are buying your seat. So anyway, I'll get off the movie kick, but I was just pissed. They're doing it. There's no reason you should see Moana 2 in the Dolby Atmos theater and pay $20 a ticket to go see it in there, because you're not going to feel any different than if you watched it on a regular digital screen. But that's just AMC's way of knowing that they're going to milk that money from parents. The kids are tugging on their jeans they want to go. And
well, the movie has to be produced in Atmos too to actually show it, of course.
That's true, I guess. But still, it's a cartoon.
Moana, I know that Sin mentioned he thought it was decent. He saw it, but my wife heard it was trash. From her friends, like it wasn't a very good movie.
Dude, I mean, how do you judge a cartoon movie made for kids? I mean, you can't make the story too serious. It has to be a simple story that kids can understand. And
usually, for cartoon movies, how often is the second one even half as good as the first one?
Yeah,
it happens occasionally, but I would also not expect Moana 2 to be. If anything, it's one of those movies the kids tug on your leg. Oh, can we see it? Can we see it? But that would definitely be one that I would just see on the streaming services, not in the theater.
Yeah, I agree. You could just see it anywhere. Geez, they'll probably sell the DVD ROM probably 4 weeks after it's out of the theater. So that was a little rant I had because I thought that was just stupid. I don't know. There's only one cartoon movie that I love seeing, and that was the Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. That was an adult movie in cartoon form. But these other movies, they're not made for us. They're made for the kids so their parents can bring them. And they try to make them half entertaining so at least the parents will be entertained as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll get off of it. So that was just my big rant for this week, because I was really looking forward to seeing Gladiator 2 and even Wicked. I was ready to see that in the Dolby Atmos theater, and it's been kicked out. And maybe
come over, fly out here. I'll watch it with you.
Yeah. Tell me about it, man. I tell you, I was just irritated. I couldn't believe I couldn't find a showing at my usual theater that I go to. So, anyway, that's my week in a nutshell. Anything else you wanted to add, Kingsley, before we move on?
I think I'm good.
Okay. Yes, I know, Hammer Crasher, get off my lawn. I know cartoon movies have come a long way. They're all made by computers now. They're much smoother. I used to watch Bambi in a theater when I was very, very young, and you'd even see the tape where the little cuts were in the movie, actual film, watching that movie. But times have changed, I know. And I know that they're more sophisticated movies these days, but I don't know. That just irritated me that I couldn't find any showtimes other than a regular digital screen, which I might as well just wait till it comes out on my HBO Max, because I got sound systems and stuff in my house. I can just watch it here. But I digress. I'll move on. So, all right, let's move on to our topic of the week right after this. Nice.
That was fun. I didn't expect that.
I was so pissed, man. And I wanted to answer these questions in chat. Hammer was saying the Riposte and the Veiled Threat are still better 720s in my opinion. It just depends on the role, man. Riposte. I finally got a riposte with what is it? The two void debuff perks, and I said that's a keeper for PvE, but for PvP, I've had so much better luck than the riposte on for 720s in the Crucible. I don't know. We'll just have to see. But Wicked
How many
is massive.
how many movie theaters would you say are within a half an hour's distance to you?
I know you have more. I know you definitely have more because I've been in Utah and I couldn't believe how many freaking theaters you had there.
Yeah,
And
I would say
you know where
we
there's even
probably
more?
have we
Colorado.
probably have like at least 8 within a half an hour distance, and they're all really, really good theaters.
I wonder if Colorado, the Denver area, I wonder if that's the home of AMC because I've never seen so many AMC theaters and you could.
Oh, there's tons in Southern California too.
Is there?
Tons
Okay.
of AMCs,
Okay.
yeah. Really
How many movies can you
There's
see?
like-
How many movies are
there's
with
like-
them?
AMC in California sometimes has like 35 screen movie theaters, like 35.
Well, it's
rooms.
Hollywood, right? It's the movies.
Yeah.
It's the movie state.
But I would say there's at least 8 really good movie theaters within half an hour distance from me.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to throw them away, Jimmy. Let me just hold on a sec. I want to just show these guys. I'm going to show these guys Dim real quick. All right. Here's Dim. Riposte. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have at least 6 of them. And I had 10 or 12 of these guys, but I decided to get rid of a few because I'm running out of space. I mean, look at this. I'm running out of space.
Sorry. No, there's 13 movie theaters within a half an hour distance of me.
13.
More than I thought. And they're all pretty good. A couple of them maybe are like not the best, but
that is nuts, man. That is crazy. I would say in the Orlando area, there's probably, which for me is about a 30-minute drive. Well, Disney would be probably 45 or 50 minutes away. So I probably have, including Cinemarks, we have Cinemarks here as well, and Regal. Regal, Cinemark, and AMC are the major ones here in Orlando area. I would say we have probably 15 theaters in the Orlando area, big and small.
yeah, but that's a little more than a half an hour if you count all those.
Yeah, some of those are 45 minutes out. But if we really wanted it, like we went to see Juror number 2 because it was only showing. It was a select theaters only. It was only showing at Disney Springs out there. So that's the reason why we went all the way out there. And of course we got dinner while we're out there. So it's double reward. It's a win-win. So, okay. All right. Yeah. Topic of the week. This should be interesting. Should be interesting. Let me get a nice big drink here because I'm going to be probably ranting and raving here as well. How's everybody doing so far? Is the echo gone, guys? No problems with the echo anymore? I want to make sure that's gone. Because if we're getting echo, yeah. Regal shut down about 5 years ago. The AMC is the only one still around us.
Yeah, I think our Regals shut down also. I got to look. I forgot about Regals.
Echo's gone. Okay. Thank you, Jimmy. Sounds good. Thank you, Hammer. Appreciate it. I can listen back to it, but then you guys will hear what I'm hearing after I've already talked. So that's probably the echo you guys were hearing. So, okay. Topic of the week. Whew. Stretch it out here. All right. This should be interesting. And chat, if there's something you want to add to this discussion, now's the time. Just make sure you add myself or Kingsley, and whoever's talking, we'll make sure to mention it.
I'll try to look at the chat, and
when you're talking, I'll try to look at the chat.
Yep.
We'll try to keep an eye on chat. So, all right. Here we go. 3, 2. Well, in this week's topic of the week, we had some conversation in the Destiny channel of our Discord this past week, and it got me thinking of this topic for discussion. And like I said, if any of you want to chime in, just at myself or Kingsley in the chat, and we'll try to mention it on the show tonight. But the topic is this. Now that Destiny 2 still has about 6 months of content to produce until the new codename Frontiers in June of 2025, and we're hoping that's going to be on time. What can Bungie do to keep us veterans engaged playing more Destiny 2 until all that new DLC? I mean, let's be real here. There are a few new players coming into the game, and the more casual players, they've moved on to the other games. I mean, RNG is an example here. So that leaves us diehard Destiny 2 veterans who still love to play this game, even though, in my opinion, the first 2 episodes have been average at best, and I'm being very gracious here. So I've compiled a small list of quality of life improvements and possible content ideas that hopefully Bungie devs and management could put into the game to keep us loyal, player base, guardians engaged. Like I said, if anyone wants to add anything into the chat, we'll hear them out live tonight while we are on. I did get some feedback from members of the community while I was playing Iron Banner with them this week, and these are some ideas that came from them as well, and I agreed with. So, number 1, I think we've had a taste of craftable weapons this episode. I think that needs to go away. I think they got to bring back weapon crafting. I love chasing weapons down that I still need to craft. I still have a lot of weapons that I still need to craft and level up and recraft. This alone will keep us busy, even casually, if we're playing the game until we get closer to June. And for that matter, and I'm really going out on a limb here, why don't we just make every weapon that has not been sunset craftable, for that matter? I know it's a big leap, but if we're to re-engage the community, that would be perfect as far as letting us build any of those weapons that I just showed you in DIM. We can craft any of those weapons any way we want. Think about all of the vault space alone that we could eliminate by crafting one perfect weapon of each of the type of weapons out there. I don't know. That's my number 1.
And along with that, and if we get a lot of comments here, I won't be able to read them all.
I'll keep it on.
Jim Raynor basically agreed with you. Make dungeon weapons craftable, but that would include under your thing of saying all weapons craftable. He also mentions, sorry, if you were going to have this topic, I don't mean to get ahead of you, but also give skins on the weapons.
Yes, definitely. I didn't even think of that. I didn't think of that. That wasn't even on my list tonight. And it's a great example. Mementos. What a great thing they put into the game, because guess what? They've got us chasing mementos. I mean, in Iron Banner, I got 1 memento so far of all the games I've played, and it looked pretty good. It looked pretty good on the weapons. So if they make more mementos or more stuff that we can get to drop randomly from playing activities or whatever, great point, Jimmy. Definitely bring the mementos, bring better skins. Call of Duty's been doing this for years. We chase those dang camos. It's the first thing all us zombie players do, is we go after those camos, right? So what say you, Kingsleymac?
On ideas now, or
just on what I've said so far? Do you agree? Do you think we think we should craft everything?
Ooh.
Or let's just I won't be that
maybe
bold.
Get all yours first.
Okay.
Yeah.
We won't be as bold to say all the weapons,
we'll
because
have disagreements, I'm sure. But
yes, let's just not say all the weapons, but maybe they come out every act. They come out with a handful of new weapons that you can craft. Let's see here. I'll try to keep an eye on chat as well.
Deadpool also says bring back all the PvP and Gambit maps.
That's a great point. Didn't have that on my list. That's a great point as well. They're already been made. Why did they take them away? We're already playing maps we were already playing maps that they brought back for Crucible where the planet's not even here anymore. So
we're getting a lot of interaction with this, so we'll just go with getting interrupted here. Zombie Pop says bring back the Leviathan and updated loot pools.
Yes, Leviathan. That's a win. That's a win. I mean, that's one of my favorite raids. It's the one raid I have so many runs in, whether it was the heroic versions or the raid layers. I've got a lot of runs in those as well. So yeah, that's a great point. What else we got from chat? Anything else?
And basically Wrath of the Machine, but I mean that's similar to bring back Leviathan.
Jimmy mentions bring the shinies back. I get it. Shiny. Yep. I want to run the gauntlet again too, Jimmy Raynor. I do. Believe me, that was a lot of fun. It was like a game show, right? You had to go with the stoplights, make sure you hit the right lights, and there was always someone who messed up that process up, and we'd always go, "Oh, wipe, do it again." So yeah, that was fun. Number 2, Bungie. I guess we'll just call this Bungie Please, right? I've used to make Bungie Please videos. Bungie, please allow us to prestige our 100 ranks as far as we want to go. The one thing that discourages me to play even more is when I hit 100 or 150 or 200, with the different acts. One thing discourages me to play is when I've maxed out my season pass bar. And I know you can get every 5 levels after that, you can get the Bright Ingrams, but let's be honest here, guys. We're getting legendary sparrows, a legendary ghost, or a ghost projection. Every now and then, 250 bright dust, which is good, but it's very rare. Believe me, I've cashed in so many Bright Ingrams. You just don't get anything with those guys. You don't, every now and then, like every 100 Bright Ingrams, I'll get like an exotic sparrow, or I'll get an exotic weapon ornament. It's very rare, but we gotta allow us to play like we play Call of Duty in the day. And the reason they have prestige in Call of Duty now, let's just say, for instance, and I'm probably repeating myself here because I've talked about this in past shows, probably a year ago by now, but give us first, and they're starting to do this in Iron Banner, and I think they just need to bring it over to the season pass. Every time you break 100, give us an emblem. Give us a prestige emblem. That means we can show that off, that we're playing the game a lot. We're hardcore about playing Destiny. Give us now, and I'm not talking about a token emblem. I mean like a really nice, beautiful, that's something that stands out, is something that a lot of people don't have. Give us an emblem when we reach 100 or 150 or 200 or whatever you want to call it, depending on the act we're at. How about giving us a special shader? They do it when you prestige Iron Banner every time around, every episode. Maybe after 100 or even maybe after 200, give us a special shader that we can put on our weapons and armor. How about a special weapon or armor ornament as a prestige bonus? People will ask you, hey, where did you get that awesome weapon ornament or that armor ornament? Remember the shinies, the special ornaments where light would come out of them? It would drive players to play more and to get it. Simple stuff like this that Call of Duty has mastered for over a decade now. And at the very least, give us glimmer packs, enhancement core bundles, prisms, golf balls, ascendant shards, whatever. It wouldn't need to be, we don't need to make all new tracks, but just scatter it with material pickups, maybe shader emblem ornament per track, and just give us a bunch of ways we can farm for materials to upgrade our weapons, all that stuff. So that's my number 2. And let's see.
Jim Raynard also mentions about with weapons and the rankings, have something every 100 ranks. So something special that happens with the weapon at 100 and then again at 200. And
enough said. And I think that's something, Kingsley, I know you're more realistic than I am. I think that's something Bungie can do. I don't think that's very hard to do. When we break 300, we get the 300 emblem. We get a special shader that comes, in that track somewhere, maybe at 350, we get a shader, and then just scatter it with every level that we go up. Give us something. Give us 5 enhancement cores. The next level, give us a golf ball. The next level up, give us, how about a prism? It doesn't even have to be a lot of them. Just give us something every time we increase it. I'll be out there doing patrols, man. I'll be out there cranking out the XP. I'll be cranking out the bounties, and I know you love bounties, Kingsley. So it would probably get you to start doing bounties. So I'm just saying, if you want engagement, you want more people to play your game, and let's face it, we've got about 30 to 50,000 players, daily or weekly, whatever, concurrent players now. Those are your hardcore Destiny gamers. And unless you don't want those to get smaller, you need to keep giving us something to shoot at, because a lot of us will grind. We'll grind for this stuff. And it just makes perfect sense to me. So that is my number 2. Any comments on that before we move on? I think everyone's kind of said their piece.
Yep.
Number 3. We all know that Bungie likes to make one particular material or currency source every year that's scarce. This year, they removed legendary shards, right? Everyone was happy. But now the currency needed for everything is enhancement cores. And as they have increased the drop rate when you dismantle weapons and gear, I give them kudos for that. It's not enough. I manually level up weapons because people say, well, I got 10,000 of them. Why on earth? Or, I have 900 of them. Why on earth do you need more? I got plenty. Because I'm leveling up weapons. You need them to upgrade your armor, your levels on your armor when you're putting builds together. Prestiging or what is it? Masterworking your weapons to get the extra 2%, 2% stats out of them. I mean, think of something in this game that you don't use enhancement cores for. It's the legendary shards of post final shape now. And I tell you right now, and I'm just so people don't think I'm full of shit here. I'm going to go back to dim and show everyone how many enhancement cores I got. There we go. Enhancement cores. 131. And I can hold 999. 131 is all I got. And I play a lot. I do gunsmith bounties every week. Those are the most obvious ways of getting them. But this little guy right here, I can't ever get enough of these. This is the legendary shards.
I have 1,922.
I don't, other than you're just using the same weapons and armor, because I always like trying new weapons. I'm always enhanced because you can enhance a lot of weapons now.
I try new weapons, but I don't enhance them unless it's really worth it. I don't just enhance it because I think it'll be good one day.
Yeah. Well, I used to, the one thing that I did also want to mention is you got Spider sitting there in the old city. He's as useless as ever, just sitting there next to Ido. Other than one mission that you went and talked to him and exchanged some words with him, that's all he's there for. Bungie, please.
Hammer has 4,000 cores, and he levels up guns, he claims.
I want to see it. I want to see how many guns you got enhanced, Hammer.
This is where it all comes down to. Everyone's definition of leveling up is different. I
Yes.
really think you feel like you got to level up everything, Gator, but
Well, not
a lot
everything.
of us, we only level up a few things, and we're still having fun. And it doesn't mean we're only leveling up like 2 guns. No, we still do a lot more than 2, but we're not like leveling up like tons of guns.
See, here's the thing. Let's just say the Tenacious Master I just got, right? Where'd it go? Right there. Yeah, I'll go back to screen share.
Deadpool has 6,679.
What are you doing with your life, Deadpool? What are you doing, man?
Not leveling up every gun and playing a lot.
Just got the Tenacious Master right here. Yeah.
Jimmy Raynard has
we know Jimmy
2,200.
We know Jimmy plays a ton. We know he's a hardcore player. I'm just saying.
It's I think it's more how you use them and less how much you play, because I haven't even been playing tons lately.
I mean, this new Chroma Rush, it's enhanced. But look how many levels. I have to get to enhancement level 17, 15 or something to unlock all the enhanced perks for tap the trigger.
I think you see Ooh Shiny and you feel like you need to level it up just because.
I mean, I've got shinies. I got all that stuff, man. I mean,
Ooh Shiny. It's a new weapon I get to level up.
Okay. But I'm just saying, like my bygones here, Head Seeker, Lone Wolf, enhanced. I got both enhanced perks. It's level 24 now, but it didn't get there from using it. It got there from me using enhancement cores to level it up, so I can go right into Crucible and try it out. Because let's face it, regular Head Seeker and regular Lone Wolf, if I'm gonna test the weapon to see if it's any good, I want the enhanced versions, right? I mean, that only makes sense. So I'm swallowing enhancement cores, just trying to get this stuff to work. So anyway, I just want to show you that, but it's because I like to try a lot of different things in Crucible weapon wise. And this isn't even, I use pretty much the same armor right now, because I think we all can agree armor is armor is armor. I mean, because you can put ornaments on all your armor. So all you need to do is have a PvE set and a PvP set and just adjust your stats accordingly and make sure you masterwork all of them. And you have pretty much 2 sets of armor for each character, and you're pretty much good. So I tell you what irritates me is the fact that they'll give me 5 enhancement cores, but I got to give up 1 of my prisms. That's not a good trade. It's not a good trade. Or if I want to get prisms, I have to use enhancement cores. That does not make sense. I used to go to Spider in Forsaken. If I was low on Glimmer, I would say, okay, what's he got for Glimmer? Okay, I got to, back then we had planetary materials. I say, okay, he's given 10,000 Glimmer for every 100 spin metal. So I would start exchanging out spin metal and I can immediately go get my Glimmer that I needed to do whatever I needed to do in the game. They need to bring, Spider's just sitting there, Bungie. Bring back the exchange system and have a resource center where you can exchange anything. If you're low on one, let us use, if we're going to use a prism to get enhancement cores, you got to give us at least 10. That's worth it. So anyway, but just have Spider swap out stuff like he always did in Forsaken. That was the best thing they ever added to the game, without fail. Let's see. Another thing was, I used to trade. I remember I used to trade all kinds of things with Spider, Glimmer, legendary shards, whatever I needed. But if you look, like right now, Iron Banner's going, right? There's nothing more demoralizing when you're trying to focus an Iron Banner Ingram, and you need 25,000 Glimmer per weapon focusing. You got the Ingram, they drop randomly in the game, or as you level up the season pass bar, or whatever you want to call it for Saladin. But the problem is every time you want to try to farm that weapon, like the sidearm we just talked about, the Tenacious Mastery, it's 25,000 Glimmer and an Iron Banner Ingram, and you have limited Iron Banner Ingrams, but a 25,000 Glimmer to get one weapon roll, and it's all pretty much, it's not craftable. So it's just like pulling the lever, right? You're just pulling the lever, 25,000 Glimmer, 25,000 Glimmer, and an Ingram that you worked hard for. It's very expensive. But if they had Spider at the old city, where I could go there and give him one golf ball for 100,000 Glimmer, done. That's what I mean when I say they need to bring Spider back and have them do something. It's just a good loop. It's just a good game loop. It's going to keep people from getting frustrated and just going, no, I don't have a Glimmer, I'm out. I'm going to go play Balatro. Screw it. I don't feel like going to the Cosmodrome and farming for an hour to get my Glimmer levels up when I could just I can go anywhere and just instantly trade out any material I have plenty of for Glimmer. So, all right, I've ranted enough about that. That was my number 3. Number 4. And for those of you who've been listening to this podcast, know that this has been a complaint of mine for many a year. Bungie, for the love of God, quit putting caps on our materials and currencies. There's nothing more irritating than maxing out your 99 strange coins from playing Iron Banner for a night and realize the last 5 games you played, you weren't getting any more because you maxed out your inventory. The changes of Zur have been outstanding. I use his services every week. I try to make sure I use those strange coins because I'm playing activities. And it makes me want to engage in Crucible and Gambit. And sometimes, let's face it, never play strikes. Max prisms, max ascendant alloys, max ascendant shards, max deep side harmonizers, max exotic ciphers, max tinctures of queen foils. I know we don't use those as much, but you only get 5 of them. You get my point. Let us go crazy and farm whatever the hell we want to in this game. If we get 999 of these, then fine. Start another stack. As long as we have the inventory space. Ever since Destiny 1, Bungie has been so afraid of letting Guardians do what they want in game. Like I said, we only have 30 to 50,000 concurrent players right now playing Destiny 2. I think we've earned it. So quit putting caps, artificial caps, and put artificial constraints on our time and materials that we're earning in game. There's already a limit on Ingrams that will drop from activities. Let that be the gatekeeping if you're worried about us, running off the board with materials. They're so afraid to just let up the tap a little bit that it just makes it not fun. It just doesn't motivate me to go farm for whatever out there. So that's my number 4. My number 5 was already mentioned. It was I guess Jimmy mentioned it already. The the memento system. They need to definitely increase that. How about a memento every time you get to 200, or how about every 250 levels on your season pass, you get a memento, automatically drops. It's yours. You earned it. Give me the path, show me what I can get for it, and I'll play your game, Bungie. And I know I'm a different player than you, Kingsley. I know you don't, that's not what you look for in a game, but I like checking the boxes when I play a video game because I feel like I'm getting something done, right? I'm getting that dopamine hit every time. I'm completing that Crucible game. Here's my rewards. I'm getting that dopamine hit. Why can't you do it on materials as well? That's all I'm saying. So, let's see. Chat pretty much agrees with me, right?
Not everything.
I know you guys have a lot of enhancement cores. Get off your butt and start enhancing these weapons and go try them out in the Crucible, or enhance them to go play those Nightfalls, those Grandmasters you guys always talk about. Go use it for that. Enhance the weapons and go try them out. I know everyone has their favorite weapon and they pretty much just use that weapon. And if that's your case, then you're going to have plenty of enhancement cores. But just do like what I do sometimes. Try all kinds of different weapons. And if you really want to try them, you got to enhance them or craft them. And you guys know what crafting costs. That's even worse than enhancement. So, okay. I've said my piece. I'm going to let you talk now, Kingsley. Anything that you have that you possibly think can help content wise or quality of life or whatever going until that 6-month period before we get Frontiers.
Of course, we turned this into a big discussion. First of all, I mean, I'll play the game, I'll play along, but first of all, the fact that you say you want it to be under the 6 months, none of these things are going to happen in 6 months because Destiny has a 6-month development cycle. So unless they were already working on some of these things behind the scenes, it's not coming. So I'm a realistic point of view, I'm not expecting much to change over these next 6 months. And maybe some of these ideas will come in Frontiers. Yeah. Okay. But I'll play the game. I'll play along on things that I want, more just like a laundry list of things for Destiny.
Okay.
Also, this discussion really shows how it's an impossible thing to solve because there's so many different ideas from different players on how they play the game. I know Bungie probably has internal analytics of what people want, and I feel like they should be doing, they don't do surveys too often. I feel like they should be doing surveys way more often because yes, people will write comments and complaints in their forums or on Reddit, or they'll talk about it in podcasts like we're doing, or videos by Astrocross or whoever, but they also need to do more surveys just in case their internal analytics are not giving them enough information of what people want, because Todd here has his ideas, Mike here has his ideas, but I'm even willing to admit if they do surveys and the majority of people say something that I don't agree with, then Bungie should work on that versus what I want. So that's really the best way to kind of get an idea of what they should prioritize. Because when I was kind of going through this also, between all the ideas we had in chat and all the things you mentioned so far, it's been like 15 different ideas. So, and that's even without some of the things I'm going to say. So they really need to kind of just, figure out what is good. But I'll start off with saying I agree that right now they need to focus more on the players that they already have more than the new players. And that doesn't mean they shouldn't make the new player experience better, but they should still put more overall development in keeping the players that they have until they can make like a newish type game. Yeah. They really need to keep the players they have, because let's say someone new comes and plays the game, well, pretty quickly they turn into a returning player. And so again, if you're not focusing on things that returning players want, then what good is having a new player for a month and then they leave, another new player for a month and then they leave? Let's make things that keep players coming back. So I definitely agree on that point.
I mean, think about the new player. Kingsley comes in and says, I need how many to get this ranked up? And it's telling me I need to rank this armor up as part of my level in my Guardian rank, right? You got to level up.
On your points, I get it. I mean, but on the bigger point, either way, and Jimmy Rayner says too, they need player retention, not acquisition so much.
They're just so afraid to let us have too much because they know we grind.
So on that point, I disagree with the point of being afraid. It's not afraid. not afraid.
All right, let
It's
me
a
know.
mixture of history, other games do this too, and technical. Now, yes, that should be looked at and they should increase things from time to time, but it is normal for any game, not on all materials, but on a lot of materials, to have limits. It is a normal thing in video games. It's a way to keep people coming back to actually use the materials, like you said,
Sure.
and then to play the game some more. And it's part technical too. If they go over 999, yeah, you can make another stack, but you got to be careful with that because we have a limited inventory space. If they let every single thing be unlimited stacks, then people can very easily run into problems where they're not getting anything because only a few things have like 20 stacks and then they don't have room for anything else. So I'm sure they're always doing this cost benefit analysis in their mind of what they can do. I'm just being the realist here.
No, I know you are, but I want to show you something. Here, okay? I want to show you my inventory. Let me get the dim. Sorry, I'm not meaning to break up your conversation. I just want to show you.
Oh, it's fine. I have notes, so I'll remember all
I just want to show my inventory, okay? And I'm a Destiny veteran player, right? Does it show inventory on the screen? No, I need to go to...
There's your inventory, right?
Where?
I saw it. I mean, like when you were scrolling down.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you had
the shards and stuff. Yeah, here's my inventory. I got plenty of space. Look at this. I got plenty of space, and I'm holding stuff that I'm probably not even going to use. Like, who's going to use these things for the blind well? I mean, come on, really? We're not using those. And see, they do it. They do it with the staves, right? You get 100 of them, moves over to another 100, and I'm almost got a third now. But like putting limits on this and this and this. Your golf balls, your ascendant alloys. How about this? Your nightfall ciphers. How about this? Exotic ciphers. You can only hold 5 of them. What are they afraid of? Bungie, what are you afraid of?
They're not afraid of anything. They've even explained it once when they raised the cap of ascendant shards. They said it's a way to get people coming back, and they do a cost benefit analysis of how many they want people to have at a time.
You know what?
It's not afraid. It's greedy. If anything, they want people to play the game, come back and play the game. But I wouldn't say they're afraid of anything.
Well, all right, then I'll say it this way, okay? Spoils of Conquest, 240. You get my point. So if this is, this probably in the early days, of Destiny 2, when there was a lot more demand for the game, I absolutely understand the logic here, but we're past that now. We need to open the floodgates and just let us get what we want to get. That greediness is going to just push people away. They're just going to get tired.
I have pushed me away at all.
I have to go. I've got videos about farming Glimmer on Cosmodrome. It's not hard to do. It just takes time, and you're grinding. It just takes time. But if I could just go to Spider and swap out, maybe 2 prisms for 100,000 Glimmer, that's a fair trade. It just saves me time. It's just a convenience. Sorry.
Well, this goes back to the point of surveys. See, it doesn't push me away at all. So when I wonder how many players there are more on your side versus my side and stuff. So that's an interesting question for sure.
Okay.
Okay. Let me see here. Now, a few of the ideas you said they could do within the 6 months, like add more emblems and stuff. There's a few of these things they could do within the 6 months for sure. But you're not going to like some of my ideas. But again, I admit this is just something that I would like to see done. And again, I don't think this can be done in the 6 months, but I want weapons sunsetting to come back. And to me, it's the one thing that gets me interested in grinding for weapons. Because if I know that, and again, weapons were never sunset in Crucible. Never, ever, ever were they. But if they were to sunset weapons in PvE and just kind of they go away for being useful, then it makes the new set of seasonal weapons that much more appealing to me because I know that, well, the older ones are not as useful anymore, so I'm going to go after these ones. I don't think they should sunset exotics, of course. Right. That's where I would draw the line.
Remember they did that in Destiny 1? We had to go back and earn the exotics again. Remember that?
Yeah. So I know, and I know that wasn't a popular opinion. So
Okay.
that is where I'm willing to admit. But um, also a really interesting point about that. I don't like when people say, this is just me on my soapbox, when, people often will use a term of like, oh, people were just crying about something and they changed it. Well, to be fair, on the weapon sunsetting, everyone was crying about that. So I don't think it's useful saying the term people crying about stuff and then they change things. People can say their opinions.
Hmm.
And I do have to admit, even though I like the idea of weapon sunsetting, I guess I'm have to assume Bungie ran the analytics and more people didn't want it than people did, so that's why they changed it
I'm just
back.
curious where their analytics are these days.
Yeah, yeah.
I bet you they're not
But
the same.
but but just try to imagine my point for a
I do.
second, and I'm not saying you should think this way, but like if you're a player like me that thinks there's too many weapons in the game, why do I care when even more weapons come out? If they did sunset weapons and then there was, and again, sunset like a rolling 1 year period, to be fair, it's not
Okay.
like they're sunsetting them every season.
Hmm.
But if they did sunset weapons, then I actually kind of have a reason to go after the new weapons more, because the older ones are less useful.
Yeah.
Um,
I know.
so that's
I know where you're coming
yeah,
from there. I know
yeah.
Hazel had the same. He came from the same place.
Oh, and other
He.
people too. I
Yeah.
know. I think Sin kind of agreed with it. Des definitely agreed with it.
Hmm.
There was people that agreed with it, but I totally get why people don't like that idea. Also,
I think you're going to be split on that idea. I mean, there's some people who are like, I earned it.
oh, probably. Like I said, I'm always
Yeah.
fair about things, and
Yeah.
probably if I had to guess, more people were against it. That's why they switched it back. That being said, though, they didn't even test it long enough to be fair. They should have tested it for at least a year.
Yes.
They tested it less than a year, and they had a rolling 1 year period, so it wasn't even a fair test, in my
But
opinion. But
why did they roll it back? Because everyone
um,
complained.
well, yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
Probably more people, I bet, even if they were to do surveys, didn't like it.
Hmm.
But there are games that do that way from day one, and people still play those games and like them.
I
So
mean,
it does show that no, everyone hates it. I mean, if we had those expectations from day one, it could be a thing. It could be
well,
a game.
not
Yeah.
to interrupt. It's built into a lot of games. Like, I mean, Call of Duty, there's only a set number of weapons you can get. But then
Mhm.
they go bonkers on what you can do to the weapons, like the attachments you can earn piece by piece, the camos and stuff. But guess what? What happens in a year? There's a whole new game out. So it naturally sunsets. But
Mm.
Destiny is not like other games. We have so many different kinds of weapons and they all feel good. Well, most of them. That's the big difference between Destiny 2 and a lot of other shooter games out there. Now, I realize, if you're comparing a looter shooter to an RPG game, we're apples and oranges there. But this is a collection game. We like to collect stuff. That's why we like looter shooter games. I still think the magic is when I get a brand new weapon from playing a GM, I immediately want to go see how it works in Crucible. So anyway, that
Yeah.
was my point on that.
And then the other main idea that I had, this is something that there's a higher chance they could do within 6 months, is, and again, I admit this may be something that just I'm more interested in, but have us have more fetch quests. Now that sounds boring, but this is more than just like bounties, but things that we can do in PvE that mix things up, that give us rewards, not just weapons, but rewards. Like you said, like people want in Crucible, like cool emblems, shaders for your guns. Imagine this. Imagine we have all these like hundreds of random fetch quests, or even programmed in fetch quests each season, where we need to go on the strike or somewhere on patrol or somewhere in a raid, and they change it up every couple weeks or every week. And there is a new area that we go to, well, not like newly programmed like environment, but like a new area we go to do something slightly different. It's kind of like a bounty, sure, but not really. It's way more involved because we're getting better rewards and we're not just getting bounty things. But they tell us to go somewhere on patrol, do this interesting thing, and then we have an emblem that we earned, right?
Yeah.
That gives, if you like check off lists, if you like things to do, if you like to go out and explore areas again, it gives us more to do. And they're easy, small things in comparison that they can program in versus making a whole new strike, a whole new seasonal activity, a whole new raid, and stuff like that.
And I think they did that in the final shape, the new world in final shape. I think they did a lot of things where you can go and play a boss over and over again.
Yeah,
I compare them to like adventures in Destiny 1, right? The adventures where you could repeat them and replay them.
yeah, but I'm thinking even more so than that.
Okay.
Those are kind of like higher level adventures, or even a higher level thing. I'm thinking like a smaller thing that is always changing, almost like every week, or at least every couple weeks or month, where you have a few like fetchy little things that you can do that is an experience. So you're going out and doing something. You're not just, it's not like a bounty that just says like kill 5 Vex, right? It's actually, you have to go to this place, do this thing, see this thing, interact with this thing, right? It's more involved than a bounty.
Okay.
And by doing it, you get a cool shader for your gun or a cool emblem. That's what I want to see.
That would be fun. I would engage with that.
Yeah.
I would definitely engage with that.
And the reason why I bring that up is because that is an easier thing that they can program in. That's what would make the game feel more of a true live service game, because it's always changing. Every week we have some new, and make all these fetch quests world building too, where we're all in it together. And if more people participate, the emblem has a gold emblem around it or a platinum circle around it or something like that. So these are things that they can add in to make it feel more lively. Those were really my 2 ideas. I love that you came up with a lot of ideas, but I think those 2 are what Mike personally wants to see.
No, I know we're totally different players. I know. I realize that. That's probably why you're perfect as a host, because you're probably the antithesis of what I like to get out of the game.
Different opinions. It's fun to talk about them and spar back and forth a little bit, but also like it's not a big deal. Like I appreciate your opinions. And
all right, you got to say what Hazel always says. It's not going to happen, man. Yeah. It's not going to happen, man.
That's my original point. If any of this happening in the next 6 months, it's not going to happen, Todd.
I'll take it. That's close enough. I miss that sometimes. Anyway,
man,
well, just looking at the chat here, and yeah, Jimmy Rayner's like, word, it's just a value that needs to be stored. I mean, I think this kind of sums it up. They need player retention, not acquisition. It's all about retaining.
With that. Yep.
It's all about keeping the players happy that are playing this game day in and day out, or at least 3 or 4 times a week, like I am. So these are just little quality of life things. Now I do remember a TWAB, and this might've been in one of the Frontiers development insights. They did mention that there was going to be a quality of life improvement that has been needed for a long time, that they said that they're bringing maybe in the next act before Frontiers. I don't know what that is.
That'll be fun to hear what it is, because that's obviously something they've been working on for a bit. And if it's any of your ideas, or I doubt it's any of my ideas, but if it is, we'll be excited.
Well, my ideas, to be totally transparent here, a lot of these ideas are recycled from the last year I talked about them.
I know, right?
Oh my God. Yeah. Hammer Crasher, I hate having to delete a golf ball to pick up a golf ball to reset my rank. Exactly my point, Hammer. Exactly my point.
So that should be solved, but not necessarily it needs to be solved by letting you pick up more golf balls. They should just let you reset it without having to pick it up.
Well, how about just throwing it in your
either way, Gator's idea or my idea, but I agree on having to pick it up is annoying that way.
All they would have to do, Hammer, to fix that problem is just because I've been there too, where you have to reset the Crucible rank. You have to reset by acquiring that last golf ball, right?
Exactly.
Have them send it to your postmaster. What's wrong with that? Somehow there's some coding mix up there where it won't allow you to do it. But I mean, that's a minor thing. But like I said, my biggest pet peeve is the strange coins. They just brought that in. Yes, Hammer, more Crucible maps. I know. I think someone beat you to that earlier in the chat. But I think the biggest thing, like I said, is the strange coins, is that newest currency that they allow us to earn by playing activities. That's direct engagement, and you're getting a direct reward for engaging in that activity. And the fact that they cap it at 99. And I've had instances where I have, like whatever I want to buy is, let's just say it's 78 strange coins, and I have 73 strange coins. So I go play a bunch of Crucible, and there's time there where I've wasted time where I've maxed out my strange coins when all I needed was just a few more And then you have the modifier that when you spend 47 strange coins every week, you get a 10-day countdown timer where you actually can get even more strange coins with each activity, which almost adds to the problem. So simple fixes like that, I think they can do that between now and, I mean, a lot of the stuff I've mentioned is just changing that value in your code, right? I mean, I know enough about programming to get me in trouble, but all you have to do is change that value in the code. Instead of it being 99, how about we make it 9.99?
So, and I was going to get exactly on that point on a slightly different aspect. Yes, but that is all you have to do theoretically.
Mm-hmm.
It adds more memory when you do that in the game. And so much of the legacy of what we have with the game now is when you have more digits, it needs more memory, and then more things can go wrong. And there's only so much memory space in a game also. And memory doesn't mean space. I mean like active RAM memory, like memory of when a game is open and running. Another PSA I was going to make that's a very similar technical point is even for these stacks of things that you can do more than 9.99 right now, or even if they went full tilt with Gator's idea of letting everything go multiple stacks, don't do that, people, because every single season they've had issues that if your inventory is full, something doesn't work. There's something with the spaghetti code that Destiny's had for a very long time, and they're always fixing it, and they never ultimately fix it so that it doesn't keep happening. So until we see a whole new game, just a PSA, no matter what your opinion is on this, do not keep your inventory full because you can have issues.
I mean, if worst case scenario, I'm just at least putting it out into ethers when they make their next game. Don't put these predatory limits on stuff where it forces us to come back and play every day. If we're there playing your game, let us continue to play the game. It's another thing like with Iron Banner. They do the same thing. I played on Tuesday night, right? When it first came out, I played with some friends. Well, once I got my first level of challenges done, I couldn't get any more done until Friday. I know they added one every day. I think that's bull. I think we should be able to earn it. If we want to go in on Tuesday night and just play till 5 a.m. to get everything done on one character and get all the upgraded stuff to, for Iron Banner rank to get that moving, they shouldn't put a cap on that as well. I realized
that'll ever change though. They want people to keep coming back.
All that's doing is making people say, well, I'll see you on Friday because I'm not going to even touch the game until all of the stuff is available to me. And sometimes I've done that in Iron Banner, and I love playing Iron Banner. It's a lot of fun. Steel Zealot had a good point on here. It says, you can all hate me. Gambit needs love too. Gator said something about missing Gambit Prime a while ago. Yes, I've mentioned it several times. And the armor that goes with it. I've never played, but it needs to be worked on too. That would be, something that's already been in a game. And I know they said the game was getting too big. That still boggles my mind when I see World of Warcraft out there that's been out longer and has more stuff in it than Destiny does.
Well, that too is part technical and part because World of Warcraft doesn't play on legacy consoles. Hint, hint, Bungie. Anyways,
yes. Hey, send your complaints to Kingsleymac if you play on a PS4 still, or what is it, an Xbox? Xbox One? Yeah, if you're still playing on those consoles, you're holding us all back, people. According to Kingsley, you can send him all the hate. Okay,
that's definitely part of the equation.
It is.
I'm not saying it's the only part.
It's a limitation. Sure.
Yeah. Now, on that does remind me on one other point I had. Thanks, because I missed this in my notes. Bringing stuff back. Okay, so that's kind of not happening anymore either. There was rumor about Bungie remastering Destiny 1. That's not going to happen. How can they do that right now when they have less staff than ever before? They're barely keeping us afloat with these acts that we don't like. So we're talking about stuff. There's no way they're remastering Destiny 1 right now. And unfortunately, there's no way they're bringing Wrath of the Machine back. There's no way they're bringing Leviathan back. All these things may happen sometime after Frontiers, but we are not getting anything like that within the next 6 months, probably.
It's too bad because it kind of sucks.
And Gambit too. I hate to say that.
Gambit Prime.
That would be the same thing with Gambit, probably.
I when a new player comes in, is playing at 60 frames, on whatever newer console they have, they can download Destiny 1 onto their latest console, but it goes right back to that 30 frames. And to me, 30 frames is jarring right now. I know I could probably get used to it after an hour of playing it. My eyes would finally adjust back to it. But it is literally like you putting motion blur on your controller. And every time you move around, it's just like I almost would get seasick because it moves so slow. And yes, I agree. I think old gen is definitely holding us back. And maybe with Frontiers, they finally, my
so.
opinion, honestly, is the pandemic is what caused us to keep the old gens still in place, because they had the chip shortage back then. PS5s weren't readily available. And I mean, let's face it, even Xbox, even though they haven't sold as many, they were having a hard time getting them in stock for people to buy. I remember I wanted to get an Xbox Series X, and they weren't available. And I was trying anything just to be able to play Crucible 120 frames on a console instead of having to go to my PC. But I think the chip shortage combined with the pandemic, I think, had something to do with the reason why a lot of the legacy consoles are still in place. I really do.
I think it's more than that too. I think it's unfortunately because they're on their own now. Back then, when they had more studios working for them and Activision and stuff, because one unfortunate side effect when you go to new gen console only, you're not going to take advantage of those things unless you rewrite your code. So they were able to do it back when they went from PS3 to PS4, and now they're so short staffed. Even if they do kick old gen to the curb, do they really have the ability to bring all the new features right away? I feel like they're just barely staying afloat right now.
Maybe that extra restraint is what's holding things back. And maybe it would just blow up. Maybe a PS4 would just start smoking if they made those changes too quickly. You know, who knows? I mean, that little GPU is already working hard.
PS4. Yeah. That is my point. But the bigger point is, even if they made the internal decision, let's get rid of PS4. They still, it's not like magically everything's better. They still have to rewrite code to take advantage of the better systems to give better features, and that takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it does. And Bungie's not exactly robust with a workforce right now, and I'm sure they're probably balls to the wall right now, just trying to get Frontiers ready in 6 months.
You know what this all comes back to in a way was it the right decision for Bungie to go off on their own from Activision? Because like it or hate it, and I still generally think it was a good decision, but they were able to make more stuff back then with more studios.
Because they had 2 studios helping them,
Yeah. And since they have less ability to do that now, and Sony doesn't seem to be helping them, Sony wants to cut them back. I mean, if Sony was to like throw more sub studios at them, then that'd be golden, because then we could get all this stuff taken care of, plus more, plus new gen everything, make the game really awesome, feels like a new game, even though it's not Destiny 3. All the above could happen like within a year. But
I've been trying a lot of new games, and I still have to say Destiny is a game that really changed things for me in gaming. I think they were ahead of their time in 2014 when they released Destiny 1 even. With their systems and how good the guns felt and everything, and then all these different factors in the game of building your arsenal and stuff. It was unlike anything I've ever seen in a looter shooter before. And I played a ton of what's the one game there, Borderlands. I played a ton of Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, even Borderlands 3 a little bit, and that still, the thing I hate about Borderlands is once you would get a really cool gun with some cool perks on it, but then it would basically degrade once you got through levels. It wasn't strong enough to do anything. So then you just basically had to destroy it to try to get that same gun later on at a higher level. That was so frustrating, man. With Destiny,
that's what I liked about Borderlands.
Yeah, I know you like the sunsetting aspect, and the gun's more rare. I get that. And the ornaments and how beautiful they look, they went all out on that stuff. But with Destiny, once you got a weapon, it was yours. You earned it. It dropped for you. You were good to go. And we can talk about the past of Bungie, and I'm sure they've made a lot of zigs when they should have zagged. I think we can all agree they probably didn't handle things the best back in the day when they were with. If they were still with Activision, we probably would have a Destiny 4 right now, because Activision wanted to produce games every year.
Yeah,
they wanted to crank. They wanted another Call of Duty type game. The problem is Destiny 2 is not Call of Duty. It's a much bigger game than Call of Duty. Call of Duty, you have a limit of weapons, and you can.
But Destiny 2 wasn't just a remake of Destiny 1. It was at least a different game.
It was.
So I don't know if that was the right choice if we would have had a Destiny 4 by now, but I don't think it would have been a Call of Duty example. I think it would have been at least Destiny 4 would have seemed still different than Destiny 1.
Yeah. Yeah, and Hammer Crusher and Steel Zealot remind us that there are a lot of management problems at Bungie, and hopefully that's been rectified, and their art studios have been stripped out. I get it. It's sad. You know, I think right now Sony realizes they overpaid for the studio, and I think what they're going to do is they're going to squeeze every ounce of blood out of this orange, and that may mean that they have to be lean on development budgets and stuff for a while, and hopefully Bungie will prove that it's still a worthy game to have out there. So anything else you want to add? I think I've answered everybody's question in chat.
Yeah, thanks chat for all
great
the
engagement.
ideas.
Great engagement.
Of course, we always have a laundry list of things that we want, whether even if these things don't happen in the next 6 months. I think it's awesome if a lot of these things happen in Frontiers, and we will definitely be hearing more, I'm sure, about that. Even if not in December, at least by January as the year starts ramping up again.
Yeah, and Jim Raynor also said that, remember, they had 8 games in development while they were working, doing the minimum Destiny 2. Yeah, but now their studio's been cut by, 40%? So I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of Bungie. I'd love to go visit their studio one day. I really would. I'd love to see how everybody works and the environment and stuff there. But, I don't want people coming to my business and looking to see what I'm doing. So I get it. So that was a good conversation. Yeah. One thing I will leave with here, and this is something I'm throwing out in there in the ether as well while I'm thinking about it. It wasn't on my list, but I'm adding it now, is you want to help the vault problem? How about making collections a real collections? How about when you get that gun and the rolls that are on it, that you can dismantle it and go back and get that same gun with wherever you left off on the kill tracker, pick it right back up, whatever, shader or whatever you had on it, whatever rolls you had on it. And then as you get more rolls for that weapon, you unlock those as well, where you can just pick and check boxes. And then like Warframe does it, you can just 3D print it and it's yours again. I like that idea. Like you said, I think that's a memory issue.
Yeah, no, actually that one could help with memory, because making the vault bigger and bigger adds to the memory issue, but the collections thing would actually solve that. But what I see the problem is with the collections, why they haven't done it yet. I don't think they're going to do it ever, because I think that is a really cool thing, but that wouldn't be a memory issue, but that would take a long time to program, because they need to program the fact that and store on their servers that every single gun has different perks. And then so when you're pulling one back, if you've earned a perk, that writes to the server. If you earned a perk, that writes to the server.
Yeah.
And so I just think programming that is too much that they want to handle right now. But I love that idea too, if they could do that.
It would fix the vault problem. We wouldn't have to. I don't only need 100 slots in the vault if that was the case. I would just go pull a gun out and 3D print it. Maybe it takes a minute to do it or something. Maybe there's a time thing where you have to sit there for a minute while it creates it. I don't know, but make it a little painful. I don't know.
Right away.
Anyway, you know what I'm saying though. But
yeah.
I can, like I said, I have so many copies. If you created that system, I mean, look how many copies of weapons I have here. I mean, let's look at this. Okay. Here's a prime example from Final Shape. Look how many swords I got here, all with different perks, different elements. What if I was to check all of these off, and then I can just decide what ergo sum I wanted to bring into the game? Maybe I want to bring in the insectoid robots on this one. Every one of these has different perks and stuff. This is the perfect fifth, like like one of the exotic scout rifles we have. All of these have different stuff. And all you would have to do is just have a checkbox where I can pull any of these that I've already earned and I've already unlocked the perks on. Look at this. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 7 spots right there eliminated. All I'd have to have is 1. So yeah, I just thrown it out there. That's a recycled idea as well. It's something I mentioned at least a year ago.
Everyone agrees with that.
Yeah.
I think, like even if that is going to take a lot of work, I think that is one that, even though they haven't done it yet, I'm kind of skeptical they'll ever do it because it probably takes a lot of work. But I hope they could, because that would solve the vault problem. It would be a huge quality of life thing. I would even love that, even though I don't care about collecting as many guns as you, because there's still times where, I don't know, even though my vault's not full, I would still love to have it even more empty, and then I could get rid of those guns and then pull them from collections as needed.
Now, still Zealot even says in the chat that would cause each weapon to be collected with every compilation of rolls. No, we're talking about you get the rolls when it drops. Like if you were to
no, but to keep track of it on their servers.
Oh, okay, yeah. I understand that part, but it would be just like if you went to the gunsmith.com, or if you were to I'll share the screen one more time here and show you guys. What you would do is you would just like when you're in DIM, when you pull a weapon down. Come on, work.
But see, the thing in DIM is for the stuff you already have in your vault, so that's memory space. But if they do it where it's not in the vault, where it's actually stored on their servers, that's going to be a bigger issue. They got to program a bunch of stuff.
This is all they would have to do. The UI is already there. Anything that you've already unlocked would have to be maybe yellow, and then if you select it, it's blue, right?
Well, yeah, theoretically that's all they have to do, but I understand. I bet programming wise, it's intense, you know.
But to add to Steel Zealot's point, this is all you would have to have. Once you've unlocked all the possible perks on it, then you can just pick and choose, and then just hit boom.
Oh yeah, it would be nice. Make it sure.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there while we're talking about stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be really awesome if they could do that.
Yeah. Anyway,
like things like I'll have to tell you, I never have regretted dismantling stuff, because that's one way I keep my vault, and you know, I don't care about a lot of weapons anyways, so it's easy to keep my vault very light. And also, like, maybe dismantling something and like, oh, I might need it one day. Well, if I really do, there's probably going to be some new seasonal weapon that's just as good. I'll just use that instead. Or usually you can re-earn a lot of weapons because they're always bringing them back in some form. But I'll tell you, there was once where I made a dumb decision where I got rid of one of the exotic weapons that have random rolls on them. You know, I forget what it was. If it was,
tell me this.
Oh, I think it was Osteo. And I had to re-level it up or something, because I'm so used to like a lot of other exotic weapons and exotic armor. I'm like, if I'm not using this anytime soon, I'm just going to dismantle it and I'll pull it again from exotics. Most of the time are just static things that you can easily pull from collections. Yeah. So I did that once and regretted it a little bit, but I still don't generally regret keeping my my stuff light.
Was that
not
it?
Having too much
Osteostriga? Was that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, that was it. So I had to just level it up again to get the catalyst, all the things unlocked, and my weapon level. Let's see what my weapon level is on mine. It would have been much higher if I didn't get rid of.
Mine's 114. I have almost 13,000 kills on this one. I love this. Right, this is a great PVE. This thing is fantastic. I haven't used it in a while either, but we have so many weapons.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just pulling it up.
Well, I think Toxic Overload is the perky. Everyone, you'll get that every time, but you get fitted stock. You get different stocks. Different.
Yeah, my weapon level is only 75, and I would have been like probably 200 if I didn't get rid of my first one of it. Okay.
Yeah, I remember when that came with random rolls. I remember that part. Okay, well, thanks everyone for chiming in here. We have one more bit of business to do here as I'm looking at the clock here. We're getting close on time. So this next part, I will turn it over to Kingsleymac. But first, my mandatory bathroom break. Be right back, guys. I don't need a bathroom break. That's for our audio listeners. So you good, Kingsley?
I don't either. I'm good to go.
Good to go. Okay. What were you drinking again tonight?
Oh, this is a
Moscow Mule, do you say?
Moscow Mule in a can.
Oh my God.
So, and it's a blackberry flavored mule.
That's awesome.
So,
Jimmy Rayner, if we had the mod system from Warframe, it would be the Craft Inning 2.0. I mean, like I said, you mentioned Kingsley that you regretted, you regretted accidentally dismantling that
It was
weapon.
a little
When
tender
I when
regret
I
at
have the
the
frame
time.
open and I know I can craft it and get whatever I want, I go to my vault and I immediately, even if they're God rolls, I immediately destroy all of them because I don't need them. I got the crafted version. So that's why I thought they should bring back crafting to maybe a majority of the weapons. Okay. Maybe not all the weapons, because I realize that's a lot of work, but how about every act they release another set of weapons that you can craft? I really thought they were going to do that because that would keep people engaged. But I digress. We'll move on. We'll move on. I made my points, I think, tonight. Um, I'm still drinking all the free stuff from work. Jeez. Oh, that's right. Steel Zealot is a bottler. He does he
Or
stocks,
distributor or bottler. I forget
yeah,
what it was.
he stocks all the stores. Nice.
Mm.
Okay. Ready? I think we're
Nice.
set
Still.
here. All right. All right. Before we go tonight live, I figured we would mention this. And what I'm going to do, Kingsley, is I'm going to pull up the website for this. And as you're discussing it, I will just kind of just scroll down to pertinent parts that you're talking about. But
I wish I could see it though through Discord too, because it's going to be delayed in the stream. In case I
yeah,
need to tell you to scroll back up or something.
I don't know if I can. I don't think I can.
Don't worry about it.
It's too much bandwidth,
Do my
probably.
best.
I got so
Yeah.
much running. But no, I'm going to go by your voice. And as you're talking about it, I will go to that part on the website. But as many of you know, we've been using the 100.io bot to put games together. We had a channel called the Activity Raid Bot where people could go in and create a game. You would have a drop-down menu within 100.io. You could pick the game, how many players you need. I mean, there are a lot of different modifiers you could put in it, and then you can schedule it, and people would go to the Activity Raid Bot channel and see what games are available, and they could directly join that game just from seeing it. I used to join games all the time that way using it, but lately they've dropped off as far as the Discord support, which is unfortunate because we really enjoyed using that bot. But since I think it's been what, Kingsley, a couple months now, it's been down, or a month maybe.
Maybe about a month, but yeah.
I mean, the website technically still works. You would have to go to the website, and then hopefully your friends are on there. You have to create a friends list, and it's a lot more difficult when you're using the website versus just having it in our Discord community. But we have come up with a new bot, and thanks to our Patreon community, they are paying for the bot to be, we did buy the premium version of this bot so we can use it. We've already tested it a couple times, and we really like what it's doing. And Kingsley, I'm just going to turn it over to you, man. I'm going to go to my screen share page here, and I'll just
give a couple high-level points while you're pulling that up. Again, like everything Gator said is true. I was a big proponent of the 100 bot. I'm actually probably the one that introduced this to the community several years back. And so I figured I needed to do a lot of research when people were complaining that, yes, you can use the website still, but we want something that works in the Discords also. And it was impossible to find something that matched all the features, but I found something that comes very close-ish and even has some better features that the 100 does not have. Now, again, we really recommend, this is what we're endorsing and supporting. You could still technically use the 100 bot website, but their development is gone. They're not fixing anything anymore. The developers AWOL, the bot in the Discord will never come back unless something happens. And I wouldn't be surprised if the website stops working at some point also.
Yeah, so I just paid my yearly fees for that, by the way.
For that, yeah. So yeah, and we're going to stop supporting the payment on the 100 website.
We are too.
Yeah. So I did countless hours of research and found a bot that uses a system in the background called Sesh, but named to be changed. Right now, we're calling it the OWL bot because it's OWL Sector Alliance Activities.
Or OWL Activity Bot. One of that.
OWL Activity Bot.
That works.
Thank you. OWL Activity Bot. See, this is a little bit of a work in progress for the name. Don't worry if the name slightly changes, but the bot is fully functional and the system. I wanted to find something that had a website also, and this is the only one that does. There's other systems like Apollo, like Acai, and other systems out there, but this one that I found has a website along with a commands in the Discord. And basically, it's pretty easy to use. You have a couple options. I always still personally like the website, but you can type /create in the LFG channel in the Discord, and then it kind of walks you through title, activity, how many players, and then it'll post it in our activity, Albot activity channel. Now, what this bot has as far as really cool features is in the Discord, and I'll get to the website in a second. Our Discord channel is going to be much cleaner looking now. What you're going to see is in the Al activity channel is only the listings of what's currently out there. People aren't going to be able to write in that channel. But if you want to join an activity, you can. You have the thumbs up if you want to join. Or there's another command if you want to be a waitlist or a reserve, right? And when you join it, it creates a thread and puts you in that. And then everyone who's joined the activity can communicate in that thread without messing up, cluttering the channel on the main level. Not only that, but it sends you reminders. This is one of the best features.
I love this part.
100 didn't have. You get DM reminders, and you can even click on a calendar icon and add it to your calendar if you want.
I think Google Calendar, I think, is the one it supports.
Google Calendar. So many options with that. You don't have to do those things if you don't want, but it's really cool that it'll send those reminders and stuff. What's more, when the activity is done, it'll automatically delete itself from the channel, so the channel will stay clean. So you know at any point you can see the current activities that people have created. Now, if you want to create one, I recommend checking out the website. You don't have to. You can do the create command, but we will post a link of the website.
It's sesh.fyi.
Well, I have even a easier link.
Okay.
If you can go there. Actually, that's shorter, but I also, there's a domain that I own that I wanted to, in case it's easier to remember for people too, lfg.destiny2podcasts.com. That's another domain that we own.
I like it. Nice.
Yeah. So basically, you go to the website and you can create an event. So I don't know if we want to go through a live example or not, but
I can't show Discord because I'm capturing your image on it. So I can't show that screen. All I can show is the demonstration they have here.
No worries.
On the site.
You're seeing the demonstration if you're watching the live podcast or if you're watching it on YouTube after the fact. But we will write basic instructions in the Discord. I feel like the bot is very easy to use. Again, it sends reminders. It'll be much cleaner than the old system. You won't get errors that you occasionally get. And it has a website also. So
yeah. And Sesh will DM you right away. You'll have like a DM link to it in the Discord. That's how it'll send you a notification like, hey, you have a raid later this afternoon. Make sure you remember, you got to be in that. So, and if you have to cancel or anything, it works just like the others. You can bow out and it'll let everyone know it's in that group that you've had to dive out. And then you have, like you said, Kingsley, you have reserves or wait lists where people can join right in.
Yep. So one biggest thing that I'll mention now, and I'm sure some people will run into this a little bit and we'll help you through it as we go along. And again, if you have any questions, feel free and write them. They probably make the most sense. Write them in the LFG channel. And one of us, most notably probably me, but I'm sure other people will be helping. We've had a lot of good people like Ronan Red Lion help test this and Sin.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure people will be willing to answer any questions. But 100 was really cool that when you create an event, it puts you in it. But all these other systems, 100 was the only one that did that. All these other systems, how they work, including this one, is when you create the event, it doesn't automatically put you in it. So do be sure to add yourself after you create the event. Click the thumbs up so you're in it yourself. Because I could see some people creating an event, not adding themselves. I'm not even in it.
I'm not even in the group. I got joined out. I can't even join the game I set up. I'm glad I set it up for everyone to play. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I'll be the first to do that, by the way.
And I'm sure some people will complain about that, but this is what we need to do. Overall, the system is still pretty cool and better with what we're getting moving forward.
I like it. Even an old man like me used it. So if this old guy can use it, it was very simple, super simple. And like you said, Kingsley, the thing I love about it is it's very clean. I remember I would go into the activity raid bot and I'd have to scroll and scroll and scroll. And if someone put like an event that they created like for well in advance, you would have to scroll through all the messages to find it. Or you could just do hash or / games, and it would list all the games when the bot was here to work in the 100. And all of a sudden you just get a crank out of games, and you'd be like overwhelmed. Well, the way this works, it is much cleaner. And like you said, the fact that once you join the game, it creates your own little inter-chat thread in here where you can actually talk amongst yourselves. Like, hey, I'm bringing a warlock. What are you bringing? You know, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this live or whatever, we hope to have this live shortly after the show, but, you know, to be determined a little bit, but it'll probably be ready unless something happens.
Yeah.
So check it out. We'll have the channel going here in a little bit. And if you have any questions, let us know. I don't know what else we need to say about it right now, but just one other thing is when you are creating an event, 100 had a lot of like preset things like Vault Glass Raid, this or that. We won't see all those at first. I didn't want to go in and create every single raid and every single dungeon, but it doesn't matter. You can write in there Vault of Glass Raid. Now, as people start to write what it's for, I and other admins can go in and save those as templates. So once people start creating sessions, I will go in and save them. So they will come up as presets, don't worry, but you don't have to have a preset. I mean, actually, that was kind of a problem with 100 before, is people would want to have something more custom. And yeah, you could say a custom game, but it wasn't always the right amount of people, but you couldn't write your own thing very easily. Well, now with this, you can write your own thing if you want. You can say Vault of Glass, blah, 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 like however you want, and give all the details, and it'll show a lot cleaner. And then again, you can talk about it in the little thread that it creates, where normally a problem that I saw a lot with the 100 bot is someone saying like, need a Sherpa or need so many new people or whatever, but people don't always know what that means of like, how many Sherpas do you need? Or, well, now you can have that discussion in the thread after you create the event and kind of talk with people. Anyone can join the thread even if you don't want to join the event, but if you join the event, it'll also put you in the thread.
Yeah, and I just want to mention they talked about the ultra customizable option here, and we did buy the premium version of the bot, so we do have this available to us, where you can actually put a graphic image in there to set yourself apart from what game you can put whatever image in there as long as it fits our guidelines for our community. No naked pics, no feet pics, please. And you can put your own image here, and then say you can have special emojis down here where you have like well, they have different like things like this, but you could put Titan, Warlock, Hunter.
You could. I created some right now. What made the most sense was basically join, waitlist, or reserve. But yeah, if people wanted to create ones where it's like, we need 3 Titans, 3 Warlocks, whatever, you could do that also. So there's really great customization.
There is.
Another thing you mentioned in the chat, but I think we should say here, is you do need to link your Discord. So when you go to the website for the first time,
you need to make an account.
Don't have to use the website. You can do it all in the Discord, but if you want to go to the website, you need to link your Discord.
That's it.
So that it'll show up.
I mentioned you need to make an account. No, you just have to link your Discord. You already have a Discord account. They're just going to link it. And the reason they do that is so it can DM you and let you know, hey, remind you, hey, you got an activity coming. And no feet pics allocate. Sorry. So I really like this customized available, and we can even make roles for people who RSVP. We can as admins, we can do that in the Discord as well. And that's something we can play with and get a little more sophisticated. But right now we're going to probably just do the very simple version of it to get everyone familiar with it. And it does the conversions for time zones automatically. You don't have to worry about it. It'll say whatever time zone you have set in your Discord account is the time zone. It will show that the activity is available. So you don't have to worry about doing the math on that.
What I really like about the website too is it has a very nice list of activities. Let's say there's multiple activities, but you can also view it in calendar view. This is aside, not the thing we were talking about earlier where you link it to your Google Calendar. Yes, you can do that also. But if you don't want to link it to your Google Calendar, there's a calendar button you click on the website, and it shows you as a calendar, and you can see, oh, this week, these are all the raids or dungeons or
I'm showing that
coming up.
I'm showing that right now on screen.
Beautiful. I love it.
I love that. That's probably my favorite part about the owl activity bot. I'll get it down. Is the fact that you can put it in your calendar, because I'll admit I signed up a few times raids that I set up that I forgot I set up, and people were in the Discord DMing me going, "Bro, where you at, man? When we doing this?" And I'm like at the theme park. I'm like, "Oh man, I can't believe it. I forgot my own damn raid because I didn't have any calendar function in it." So now you got this calendar function. If you have Google Calendar, you just hit the link, boom, 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 it's there. And you can, like I said, like Kingsley mentioned, you can look at everything that's available in a calendar mode as well. And he'll have to explain that. I guess you just grab the link and it throws it out there.
When you go to the website,
Yeah.
and once you've logged on just once through your Discord account,
Right.
you will see a list of all the activities, but then there's a little button that says calendar if you want to view it as a calendar view on their website versus a list view. It's easy. I'm sure you'll figure that part out. That's not any issue there.
It's really
Again,
cool.
The biggest thing we want to remind you of right now is if you create an event, be sure to join it yourself also.
That's the only thing. Yep. You do have to hit the check button that you're joining it or thumbs up or whatever we decide to make it. But this is the features that came with the regular one, and our patrons covered this. It's the premium version.
We really appreciate them.
Yep. You get recurring events, custom RSVP options. You can add Discord roles, like we mentioned. There's a 2-way GCal sync. I exactly know what that means. I just don't want to explain it to you right now. You can limit your RSVP slots and waitlist, restrict RSVPs, and voting by role, and apparently a lot of more stuff here. So we did install the premium version. So we'll let you know.
The biggest thing we needed was the custom RSVP options, because what I was able to do was program in some of those. The RSVP options is basically, do we want it to be like a 3-player, a 6-player, or a 12-player activity? And with this is how they get people to pay for the bots. They give you so many features except for maybe the one most important one you need. And we really needed that. That would have been lame if we couldn't pick 3, 6, or 12 players.
Yeah, we're not going to half-ass it.
Pick more custom options. Those are just the presets I made, of course, because those are the most common, is 3, 6, or 12.
And Kingsley did spent a lot of his spare time researching this out. So I wanted to just thank you, Kingsley, for putting this together, because I don't have the time to do all this research, and you're more technical minded than I am. So you can probably grasp a lot of this stuff faster than I can. I mean, I'm not a total idiot when it comes to the internet, but, I'm very happy with this. This is really neat. And as we use it more and more, we'll get fancier with it, with roles and things like that. Cause what's nice about roles, you can get custom roles. It'll actually add the people that are assigned to that role in the Discord at some point. And that's another way it can let you know, hey, we're meeting in voice 5. We're meeting in Gator's Hangout. Things like that. That's where the roles are nice too. And like I said, we're going to put the simplistic version out probably after the show tonight. I think Kingsley wants to pull the trigger on this. Yeah.
I'm working on it.
If you want to try it out this weekend for our live viewers here of the vodcast, you can try it right away. Maybe join some Iron Banner matches or something and try it out and just see how it works and go from there. So anything else I'm forgetting, Kingsley?
That's pretty much it. We're excited. And the other nice thing is another reason why I picked them is because again, we're white labeling it the Activity bot, but the company makes it's called Sesh, and they seem to have the most active development. So learning the hard way now from 100, they only had one developer, and the guy hasn't been doing anything for 2 years, and we were just lucky the bot was still working.
Really?
So
I didn't know that. He hasn't been around for 2 years.
Recently.
Holy shit. Well, the bot left. I was like, wait a minute. Isn't that the bot we need in our Discord? It just left.
What happened was Discord made a change that he never made back then, and it finally stopped working.
Didn't qualify.
Anyways, this group through Sesh, they have a whole voting system where if like I hear from a bunch of people in Discord, we would love this feature, I can report that to them, and then their developers, if they get a lot of other votes from other people in different communities, they will.
Yeah. Well, thanks again, Kingsley. I was at a loss here. I think you're the one who helped set up the 100.io bot.
I was originally, yes.
Yeah, because I had no clue how to set this stuff up, and I'm afraid of bots. I'm going to be honest. I'm a little finicky with bots that want full control of my Discord. I get a little defensive when it wants to be able to run stuff in my Discord, so I'm very guarded with that. Being that I'm a little, I don't know, maybe I'm a little naive in some areas. I've clicked a link before.
Be safe. There are bots that can cause problems, and if you know what to look for legitimate ones, which I do, then you know. I get it. I get what you're saying. I mean, Discord does have pretty good protections in these days if you have two-factor, where a
Yes.
bot's probably not going to take over your whole Discord.
Right.
But that being said, obviously I vetted this one and I know that it's legit.
Yep. Good. And I did want to mention, I know you brushed on this, Kingsley. We named it Owl Activity Bot because we realized the Owl Sector Alliance are a bunch of Discords that sometimes all play together. And we play in other Discords as well, different games. We wanted to make it available, or at least have it where people realize they could come to our Discord and join and play games. It wasn't just for Guardian Downcast Discord. We wanted to share it with the Guardian Hub and Two Titans and a Hunter Discord, the Blueberry Lounge, the Space Mafia guys. We wanted it available to everyone. Unfortunately, it is one of the limitations of the bot is it does only work in our server. So you'll have to come to our server to use it. But we labeled it Owl Activity Bot because it's available to everyone in the Owl Sector Alliance that wants to join it.
Yeah, you're right, unfortunately, on that. Now, 100 was the only one that did that. And again, since their bot is broken, we don't have that feature anyways anymore. However, I've even thought of that where what other Discords can do, and I will be letting the other Owl Sector Discord owners know about this. But even though the main bot posting is only going to be in Guardian Downcast, anyone can view the website, of course. So I'm going to tell the other Discord groups, if you're interested in using this, just create a channel that basically just says, go to this website, and then you can see all the postings. They can be for the larger community. Yes, you won't see those postings in your Discord directly, but you can still be part of that larger community. And again, there has been some people that have requested multi-Discord synchronization. It may be coming. I actually had some ideas I was testing to try to get around it. I don't know if I'm I'm not really a programmer, but even if I can't figure it out, I have faith that they may get it going sometime down the road.
Well, thanks again, Kingsley. I appreciate you bringing this to our attention. And we realize that we do have a lot of activity where people like to join in the in our Discord server and play games together. And I know Bungie has their own Guardian was it Guardian Finder or whatever in their game now. But if you want to just play within a certain group and you don't have to deal with trolls or people who you don't know joining your games, I promise I won't troll if I join your game. I'll probably slow you down, but I won't troll. But it's the kind of thing where it's just a solid system. It looks like it has very good, like I said, Kingsley vetted it. It looks like something that'll be around for a while. And unfortunately, as much as we love using the 100.0, it just has not been consistent lately. So I had to make a change.
Be surprised if the website stops working within the next even 6 months.
Yeah, they got my $30.
They need to get someone to take over that ownership and a new developer in there, or just close it down. They are still charging people even though it's not working.
I just paid
fully. And so that's kind of bad in my opinion. And yes, people again that use the websites, it looks fine to me. Well, yeah, just for the basic website. But the problem is websites can work pretty good for a while without something happening. But I do know that as the world gets more secure, more and more websites need new security tokens as they go on from year to year. So that alone, I could see within 6 months to a year, if they don't have any development at all, the website will start throwing errors saying it's insecure if they can't keep that up to date.
Alec, just to answer your question, they did have a multi-Discord bot, but it was a lot more money per month, and we wanted to test it out first. It may be something we can add later. Wasn't there a limitation to it?
That doesn't though add the thing that I think that I would have guessed she's getting at. It doesn't.
Oh,
it's just so that every Discord would have their own instance.
It's just a discount for if you have multiple Discords. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
again, the best we can do right now is tell the other Discords if they want to play along with this system. Of course, you can come over to Guardian Cast and use it there, or go to the website. So what they can do is just link that website in their Discord if they care, and then people can join that way.
Yep, very true. Yep, to the
and
website.
Again, hopefully the synchronization aspect of multiple Discords will come out in the future.
Hopefully, we'll keep an eye out for it. But we're gonna kick the tires and throw it out there this weekend for people to use if they want to, especially those live watching it right now. Hey, I want to thank everyone who stopped out tonight. We didn't have any questions from the Discord this week. We had one question from a member, but I'm going to save that for a couple shows from now. We do have a brand new guest on next week, and she is in the chat tonight. That's a hint. I'll keep it a mystery. I think everyone figures it out, but we'll have a brand new guest, first timer on the show next week. And hey, if you're in the chat, make sure you hit the like button. That helps with engagement for me, makes more people see our podcast. So hit the like button if you would, please. That'd be very nice of you. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, hit the notifications. That way you guys will know and be notified when our live shows come out every week. So I appreciate that as well. You can join our Discord community if you are just stopping by here from YouTube. It's discord.gg/guardingdowncast. You can give us more feedback. You can ask questions for the show or just hang out and talk with our members. I mean, I think we're 1,200, almost 1,250 members, I think now. We've got a strong membership. Nice. And a majority of those are very active. So check us out. It's discord.gg/guardingdowncast. And we do still have a Destiny LFG channel. We don't plan on taking that away. For those of you who just want to do it the old fashioned way and just say, hey, I'm looking for 2 to jump in this game. We're still leaving that channel in there, but we do, like I said, hope that you can utilize this bot that we have in place and try it out and see how it works for you. If you need anything for the show, how to follow us, how to send us a voicemail to our show, anything concerning our show, you want to watch, maybe listen to some of our back episodes, it's guardingdowncast.com, and it does everything but wash your hands. I mean, it's full service site. It has a lot of cool features in it. And that is, of course, thank you to our Patreon community. They pay for that yearly fees as well. So everything that we get from the Patreon community goes right back into our community to support it. So, and I did want to mention also, again, that we do have a survey out that is just a general survey from the website that asks you what you think about our show, what you think you would add to it, what would you take away from it, just general questions. We want to just get an overall report card of where you think we're at. I know I've made a lot of changes in 2024 since things have changed around a little bit here, and I want to see if we're heading in the right direction. So if there's something you don't like about the show, don't hesitate, throw it in there. Let us know. I'll still be your friend. It won't be an issue. But if you want to join our drawing, which will be drawing for a $100 Amazon digital gift card, which will be emailed to you directly. You'll have the code. You can instantly use it for Christmas. December 13th. It's a couple shows from now. We'll have that drawing. It'll just be a host show, I believe. And we're going to have a wheel of names. We'll have everyone's name on the wheel. If you want to leave your gamer tag, we'll put that instead of your email address. But we'll put something on there that identifies that person, with maybe not giving away your full email if you don't want that. And we'll spin the wheel live on December 13th, and someone is going to win $100 for Christmas. I know that would help me out. I'd love to spend some money on Christmas presents. There's never enough money, it seems. So do it now. If you're just thinking about it, I put the link in the Discord. This is the only way you can get to this survey. There's no buttons on the website. It's just for people who listen to the show. guardingdowncast.com/survey, and it'll pop right up, and it'll take a few minutes to answer, but that's worth $100, right? Possibility. So, yeah. Like I said, follow Kingsleymac here. He's in Discord. He's also on Twitter. If you want to mention your credentials there, Kingsley.
Kingsleymac, all the places. In game, it's just Kingsley right now, I believe, but I'll see if I can get Kingsleymac back.
Okay. And it's Todd the Gator everywhere. TODD, the Gator, GATR. I'm the other Gator from the RNGGator that's in our show. So I was called the other Gator forever. So why not? I'll just roll with it. So yeah, follow me. That's my gamer tag in the game. 7359, I believe, is my Bungie number. And if you want to send me a friend request, I think I've got a limit, but I think I'll be fine. And yeah. guardingdowncast.com. You can send us an email. You can go to our Discord, send us questions there, or you can send us a voicemail through our website as well. So all kinds of ways you can contact us, and there might be a possibility that we play your voicemail on the show, or also read your email out live on the show, or of course our Discord questions. So I think that's it for us. Thanks everyone for hanging out tonight. I know it went a little over tonight, but we wanted to put a show out here, even though Thanksgiving rolled around, and just touch base with everybody and see how everyone's doing. So thanks to the chat for hanging out with us, and I'll I'll see you in the Discord. Later,
Good one.
Guardian.
Sorry, I talked over you there.
Oh, that's all right.